confused.
I'll probably
Not my
talk
dad.
around this volume.
Okay, that's
I
good.
can
Yeah.
hear.
Cabocon.
No.
That's me.
Can you do mine first so nobody
Hi.
can follow up with a better one?
Wait, wouldn't that be last?
Well, no, he would go
Wouldn't that
first.
mean that you need to go last?
No, because he doesn't want to have a bunch of really good ones, and then he thinks his sucks, and then have to present. He'd rather just be
Oh,
like
okay.
the example.
Oh, gosh.
He'll be the metric that everybody else is judged on.
The spirit of confidence is always.
Hey
There-
guys,
I will
Hello?
point out when you're doing
Nice
mine,
enough.
Carlos, there's a slide. You just let go. Like there's a bunch of stuff that'll happen.
Okay. Hello, everyone, one and all, for the final day of the charity. I want to thank everyone again
Woohoo!
for how much we raised this year. We raised $1,932. You can see there at the top. We didn't hit our complete goal of 5K, which was very ambitious, I'm aware. But I'm very happy that we are so close to 2K. That is the most we have ever raised, and I appreciate every single donation we got in. Especially that one random guy that wanted to play in the Gmod session that one night. That was massive, honestly.
I felt like such a long time ago.
That was a $200 dono, and we said no to that guy.
God.
Oh, he said no.
Still said no.
Well, yeah, he's like, he wanted to get into the session. He's like, "Can I join?" I was sorry, it's a private session. Then he donated like 200. He's like, "May I?" And we said no.
Holy shit.
This poor person.
It was
Oh,
a
obviously
poor
it's not
fuck.
why
he thought that would work.
big.
I
scary
considered
story
it just on the principle of it, you know. I just like I could be bought out.
No,
Yeah, same.
don't be silly.
Not for $200, apparently.
I was going to, but I considered it. I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's so much information I would need to give them to make them join that game, and I don't want to give them that. And even if they did join, they have like none of our mods. Anyway, tonight, what we have for you today is some deliciously creepy pastas created by my good friends here. And the first one who is going to be going he's going to be Thomas. So let me-
Are you gonna stream in Discord too?
Yeah, I'll stream it to Discord. I just need to
Yeah.
one sec to just set everything up. Tommy, I think you need to set the link to like people
Oh,
with
do
this
I?
link can join.
Oh,
one second.
me.
Give me one
How
second.
long have you been using Google Drive?
Just now.
Oh, okay. That's fine then.
Share. Is it
Just
restricted?
specifically like
anyone with this link?
yeah, anyone with this link, and if you send that to me, then I can.
Copy link. Waddle main.
Street office will email real quick.
Slideshow. I like the title already. It's deliciously creepy. Hold on, let me get it set up here on stream real quick. And hey, just because it's the last day of the charity doesn't mean you can't still donate. No, I'll put the link in the chat there.
I was gonna say it's not midnight yet.
It ain't over yet.
Exactly.
Get over the 2,000 mark. 2,000.
It ain't over till the fat me sings.
Instead of 2,000, what if we did 20,000? Thoughts? Any oil princes out there?
Yeah,
But
when I-
Evan, you're a twin.
Yeah, we need a sugar daddy.
Yeah, it's never over.
If that guy donates, we will let him
that's
into the
okay.
call. If the Gmod guy comes back, we will let him into the call for a $500 donation.
Don't do that.
Oh my
He's gonna hear the
god.
call across the universe. He's gonna come.
You're gonna summon him.
Say his name.
For a $1,000 donation, they will get to meet Crab.
Holy crap.
Oh, shit.
Is that meat with two E's or an E and an A? I'm scared.
They will get the meat crab.
Up to
We'll
interpretation.
decide when we get the donation.
All right, so
Uh-oh.
I got the crap.
Tommy, do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it for you?
You can read it.
All right.
You can dramatic. You can make it like more dramatic than I.
What was your topic before we hop in?
The number 2.
Yes. So let us begin with our first creepypasta. Too little, too late.
Well,
Holy shit.
That's a good title.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I have to click it
It
again.
has
You
music.
might have to.
No, this is my music I'm playing right now over it.
Okay.
February 22nd, 2022. To fully understand the events that happened on the night of Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, We must take you back to the night of February 22nd, 2022.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Do you have like a quota of 2s you had to fit into this?
It was a cold, dark night on a cold, dark night of Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Wind was blowing, snow was falling, coyotes howling. It was a normal day in the office for Jerry, which just so happened to be Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Everyone was acting normal, doing their jobs, living life, and all of a sudden it happened. Some bonehead, a co-worker of Jerry, blurted out, "Hey guys, you know what today is? It's 2/22/22." Time froze. The world seemed to have just stopped. A pit opened in the middle of the floor, fire spewing out, growls reverberating through the room. Then a claw, then another claw, and then... It was a dark night. Why did that highlight?
Oh my god. It all makes sense.
It's the Chupacabra. Holy shit, that's scary.
Oh, where's that from?
The Chupacabra. I keep wanting to say Tupac. The Chupacabra is said to only show up when on a night of Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Someone mentions that it's the night of Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Everybody knows you aren't supposed to mention the date when it's February 22nd, 2022. If it weren't for Jerry's bonehead coworker thinking he's funny, he is, to be fair, they would not be fearing for their lives at the current moment. Everyone began to run, although it won't do them any good. The Chupacabra began slashing and bashing people left and right. If you tried to hide, it would find you. If you tried to run, it would catch you. Nothing was left in one piece. There was no escaping, and no one here strong enough to save anyone. All hope was lost. What's gonna happen when I click next, Tommy?
I wonder.
The One Piece?
Oh my god, Luffy from One Piece.
Alright, the next slide after this, you gotta play out.
Sherry, on your left. What is this?
What
Is this a scarecrow puzzle? Is that Goku?
This is the gang getting together.
They're all here.
It's not just Goku, it's
Everyone is
Ultra
here.
Instinct Goku.
No.
Is that Hayate Gecko?
Oh my
Hayate
god.
Gecko.
Oh my god, the best character in Naruto is here. Is that all of them?
Yeah,
For now, is there another one I have to wait for?
you'll see.
What's up?
It's Scumblow.
What a team up.
I love Scumblow.
The Chupacabra is gonna get you. Thank you for the $68 donation, God. We have
Thank you,
reached
God.
our 2,000 donation goal.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God is good. God is good.
God is good.
You silly
This
little
is true.
people, that is nowhere near enough to stop me. Yelled Chupacabra. You're gonna need a miracle to stop me. Miracle, you say? A mysterious voice appears behind the Chupacabra.
Oh
Let
god.
it play out.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Oh my
No
god.
Juncture.
Is that who I
It's-
think it is?
It's the Joker.
Is there more to it, Tommy? Or is that...
Keep one more slide. Keep going.
It's him, James E. James E will return in Too Little Too Late too. Wait, this is oh my
yeah.
god! Oh my god! I've done fucking cinema, absolute cinema, Tommy.
Almost shut my
Thank you.
pants.
I'm so upset. I won't be able to top that. I'm so upset.
That was
Tommy's at
fucking.
the bar high right now.
I'm so fucking glad I was able to find that image, dude.
Tommy
Yeah,
put
no,
us
no,
in the
no,
fucking ground.
I asked Crab one day, can you send me a picture of James E? And then today I was like, can you send me a picture of Scumblow?
You're
That
just
was-
stealing Crab's bits.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Evan, would you like to present
All right.
next?
No, you're doing mine.
Okay. Did you send it to me though?
I did. I DM'd it to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me check.
It's gonna be worse.
Tien Shinhan donated $11.37, $113.70. Thank you, Tien Shinhan.
Yeah, shit.
You?
Oh my god.
Pain.
Oh my god.
Tien Shinhan
Somebody
of
might have
Dragon
donated a
Ball
little too
and
much
Dragon
money
Ball
on
Z and Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT fame.
Somebody
Whoa.
might have tried to
They're
donate
so
1137 and accidentally put an extra one in there.
I don't think there's no accidents in life.
Yeah, I guess there's no accidents. Somebody might be
Oh,
freaking out though.
Alright.
Somebody might be freaking out.
So next one here we have My Dream Girl, warning AIR
Whoa.
ahead.
Scariest part.
Scary.
Evan, what was your
Yeah.
theme?
I put that in there just in case JT was here, so she didn't kill me.
I might kill him.
As my theme, yeah. So, my theme was girlfriend.
Here we go. My Dream Girl. The beginning. It started innocently. He wasn't sleeping well. Normal sleep aids weren't working. Cold medicine, melatonin, switching to decaf. Night workouts, no gaming before bed, eating better, nothing. Till he checked for more natural solutions. Valerian root, they said, swore by it at the one herbalist he could find in his town. He wasn't convinced. Thought it was just a hard sell, but he bought it anyway. He'd try anything just to get a wink. Anything to shut his eyes, just for an hour. Work had been hell lately. He needed to escape.
Oh,
Quickly, he faded into sleep. At first there was nothing. His body took the chance to recover from days of insomnia. Then slowly he began to dream. He saw her, a woman with a smile like the sun, holding valerian flowers. He knew she wasn't real, but her gaze felt so warm. He could feel the exhaustion of the past weeks melting away. She crooked a finger as if inviting him closer, but just like that, he was awake. When he awoke, his body felt refreshed, but his heart ached to return to her. He couldn't explain it. That dream just seemed to have a hold on him. The whole day, he saw that smile every time he closed his eyes. Couldn't tell his family or friends, but that they'd believe him anyway. That night, he took 3 pills, and again, he sank into sleep. But tonight was different. Tonight, he smiled again, but her smile was different. Couldn't place it. There was something off behind her eyes. Then, she spoke. "You're back. I've missed you." The warmth that was missing in her eyes was present in her voice. She beckoned him with her arms, but he hesitated. Something stopped him from stepping closer. He tried to speak, but no words came. Without the courage, he could only wait until he was awoken by a call from his boss, asking him why he'd missed his shift. He was off today, wasn't he? It dawned on him he had slept a full day in that forest, looking into her eyes. The following weeks took a steep toll. He needed to make more sleeping pills, but that last dream scared him. Eventually, after a week of nearly sleepless nights, he took 1, but it wasn't enough. The next night he took 2, still nothing. And against his better judgment, he took 3 again. He saw her, but at a distance, and he only got a few precious hours of rest. Final night, he took 4 pills. He sank into a slumber deeper than he'd known. That night, she welcomed him into her arms. Her embrace was warm. He could faintly hear her laughing as he closed his eyes, suddenly lethargic. He couldn't tell how long he'd spent sleeping within that dream, but when he awoke, she was gone. He was alone on the forest floor at night. Outside the dream, it had been weeks. It would be more because before he was cured. None of the doctors were sure why he had such a reaction to what normally is a safe stress reliever. No one would believe him that it wasn't the pills. The end.
Wow.
Ooh.
Beautiful story, Evan.
Very good storytelling.
I liked it.
Where's the normal pills?
Straight up pooping.
Yeah, yeah, he was Fenton. That wasn't Valerian root.
That was a wonderful little story, Evan. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hell
I liked
yeah.
it. It's spooky.
Perfect
Yeah, I
mix
wasn't
of-
sure how far into the bit we were going to go. Like, I think Tommy set a mood and I just broke it.
No.
I think you just
No,
said a
it's
There was
different.
a mix last time too.
I mean, every single one's gonna have a different tone. That's just kind of how pieces of writing work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Last time, some of them were like actually genuinely scary, and then some of them were really fun.
So JT, would you like to go next? Or would you like to present it yourself, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll be presenting it myself. Hold on.
Okay.
1 second.
get just get that ready then real quick.
My computer is not happy with my settings.
Yeah, I wanted to give her like a creepy, like uncanny valley qualities. That's why I used AI art, but
Yeah.
that just didn't end up happening because the generator I was using was too good, I guess.
I'm trying.
They were too calming. No, I was unsettled. I was unsettled by them. I was thoroughly spooked.
Scary.
Let me get this set up. Second. Hide that. Okay.
And the generator wouldn't let me use the word girlfriend because they had a really strict, like, not safe for work filter.
Jesus Christ.
So I had to put woman.
All right,
Women are outlawed. They're not safe for work.
JT, we are ready. What was your topic?
Well, it's right there on screen. It's manager.
A manager. All right, well, we're ready when you are.
So this is a sort of an online diary that I found, and I just want to give it a read because I don't know, something seems very unsettling about it. The more and more I looked into it, I didn't look through it all the way, but I figured, I'd share it with everyone. We can go through it together.
You know, makes sense. I mean, did you get it at a garage sale or?
Yeah, exactly. I found it at a garage sale.
Interesting.
I was offered a job yesterday, August 18th, 2034. I've been looking for a job for a while, a long while. I was willing to do just about anything, but I was always turned down. Turned down for cashier work. I guess I wasn't sociable enough. Turned down for labor. I'm not very strong. Anything requiring my head was off the table. I'm not a thinker. Not really. I don't have much attention span to think. Just remember. When I was offered work, I didn't really think to ask what the company's name was. I didn't really even ask what I'd be doing. I just knew I'd been out of a job since I was out of high school and needed something. The company's logo looks something like this. I'll look when I start my shift.
What the company is?
Rore Videndum. The name of the company is Rore Videndum. I looked it up. The company's name means to trap that which is seen. It's camera manufacturer. My new boss met me today to show me the ropes. She's tall, with the bluest eyes I'd ever seen. I was taught how to shape lenses and insert them into the front lens mount. That's all I was to do. Shape the lens, put it in the mount. So I did. I did that all day. I didn't think much to talk to my coworkers. I just put the lens in the mount. When it came time for a break, I sat alone. I people-watched. I saw how most people shuffled around the dark office space. All the windows had very little light shining through them because of the blinders. But I didn't mind. I just ate in the dark. I ate lunch with a coworker, August 21st, 2034. She walked up to me while I was eating and sat next to me without asking. She asked my name. I responded. I asked hers, Amanda. I asked Amanda why she sat with me. She said she liked my eyes. Blue, like hers. I nodded. She just stared at me for a while. She told me that one day I should come upstairs to the second floor. They do more important work up there. I said it wasn't my place to be. I just worked the lenses. But she said it would be a visit. I politely told her that maybe I would. She left not long after, so I went back to my food. I didn't see Amanda for the rest of the day. I met another coworker today, August 27th, 2034. He said his name was Yorick. I said that was a very old-fashioned name. He said he knows. I asked him what his job was. He said he works programming. All the fancy bells and whistles on the camera were his doing. I said that must have been tough work. He said it really wasn't. His hand twitched unnaturally. I asked him what was wrong. He said he gets twitchy without his morning coffee. He asked me what I did. I explained. His only response was, "Oh." He excused himself afterwards. Poor me. My coworker was crying today, September 12th, 2034. She works the same floor I do. I asked her what was wrong, but she didn't respond. I told her I'd take the shift to let her recover, but she only cried and kept working. It wasn't loud. It was subtle. An almost silent sort of sobbing, somewhat. I asked her name. She didn't respond. I tried to put a hand on her shoulder, but before I could, my manager came to speak with me. She told me not to worry about her, and that she gets fits of sadness, akin to a panic attack. She'd handle it. She put her hand on the girl's shoulder, and they walked away. The two returned an hour later. She was muttering something under her breath. It sounded something like, "All work, no play." She just repeated that. I could see the tears running down her face still. I could see her lifeless eyes. She just kept on shaping the lenses. All she does is cry. September 19th, 2034. Cry, 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 cry. All she does. I don't even know her name. I don't know anything about her other than she cries all day. It's gotten worse since my manager took her away every day since the first time. Every day she comes back crying more and muttering about work. At least she's good at her job. At least she's quick. She shapes, I affix the lens. It's easy work. It's mind-numbing. Why is she crying so damn much? I feel bad, but I can't do anything about it. I ate with my manager today. She called for me to do so. She said my work was doing much better than she expected. She said I should come upstairs with her. I politely declined since I still had work to do, and it was the end of my lunch. She said we'll do it tomorrow. I can't see. Why are my eyes so watery? My surgery was a success. October 21st, 2034. I had to go in for eye surgery, some medical condition. My eyes are gone. I have new eyes now. Better eyes. Better lenses. Better for work. The only thing I remember about being in the hospital was my manager coming to visit me and touching my eyes. My old ones. She told me they were so pretty. I have very pretty eyes now, too. Why didn't my family visit me when I had surgery? Today I went back into work. October 30th, 2034. My manager told me to take some time to adjust. But I see better in the dark now. I work better with the lenses. I don't know why, but the shape of them seem familiar. The girl who used to work with me doesn't exist anymore. Or I guess she never did. Or she was fired. Or she quit. Or she moved upstairs. She moved upstairs, probably. I want to go upstairs again. I went upstairs November 2nd, 2034. I went upstairs to talk to my manager. She said she wanted me to move on to something else, something more. So I went upstairs. And then I went back to work. Work. I went to work. I went to work. I went to work. I work. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. What does she look like again? Black hair. Blue eyes. Bluest of eyes. Mother has the bluest eyes. Such pretty eyes Mother had. But I have them too. Such pretty eyes I have. I went upstairs November 30th, 2034. My arms are working better on the computer I was given to help shape the lenses better and program and design the plastic case of the camera. I am doing good work. I work. I good worker. My hands still twitch sometimes. I went upstairs December 3rd, 2034. I need fine-tuning. Manager will provide fine-tuning. Father, what have I done? Forgive me, for I knew not what would happen. Forgive me. I worked today, December 25th, 2034. I worked today, December 31st, 2034. I worked today, January 1st, 2035. I worked today, January 2nd, 2035. I worked today, January 3rd, 2035. I worked today, January 4th, 2035. I worked today, January 25th, 2035. New coworker today. I worked January 26th, 2035. Such pretty blue eyes. Perfect lenses. Manager knows. Manager knows what must be done. For the perfect camera, we capture that which is seen. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. I worked today, January 27th. January 7th, 2035. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. I need to leave. I worked today, January 27th, 2035. I keep saying 27th, January 7th, 2035. I can't leave. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. I'm crying again. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. Why do I always cry? I worked today, January 7th, 2035. Nothing ever changes. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. I cry and I cry like a child. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. Wanting its mother. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. But my mother can't save me. I worked today, January 7th, 2035. I worked today, January 8th, 2035. My coworker asked what was wrong with me, why I was crying. I didn't respond. I just said all work and no play makes me a model employee. Manager visited me today, January 8th, 2035. She patted me on the shoulder and said I should follow her upstairs. I followed. I am a model employee. Click. January 9th, 2035. Click. July 9th, 2035. Click. August 4th, 2035. Click. September 13th, 2035. Click. September 17th, 2035. Please let me die. Click. October 31st, 2035. Click. November 24th, 2035. Why must I still feel the press of buttons? Click. December 25th, 2035. Let me go. Click. December 31st, 2035. Let my brain be free of here. Click. January 1st, 2036. I want to go home. Click. March 3rd, 2036. Or die. Click. March 7th, 2036. Just let me be free. Click. June 3rd, 2036. Click. July 4th, 2036. Click. August 8th, 2036. Please insert new batteries. Click. August 19th, 2036. August 7th, 2034. I saw a girl with the bluest eyes I'd ever seen. I think I'm going to offer her a job. Her eyes would be perfect. She fits the mold of brain devourer perfectly. Weak-willed, willing to do anything. Another perfect candidate. All I have to do is ask if she has good memory. Click. August 17th, 2034. Lone girl at a cafe. Jobless. Number 42.
Woo! God damn.
Banger. Absolute
Banger.
banger. That was wonderful.
Oh, shit.
God.
The first
damn.
time you said model employee, I had to mute because I was like, she said it. She said the thing.
That was really good. That was a really that got me all heebie-jeebied.
Yes. Perfectly
Or
summarized the
half.
9 to 5 work style.
He turned into a camera.
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's
I
what
would
it's
say
like.
it sounds like working at civil service.
No, that was wonderful. Like legitimately. Yeah, dude, that was
Indeed.
beautiful.
That's great.
It was very good.
A1.
Originally, it was going to end up being that the manager would give them odd jobs, and they would have to like make Faustian bargains to get better at the job and get paid more, and then eventually they'd just be nothing. But something took over when I was writing. And
Came to me in a
insanity
dream.
took over.
I just kept writing, and it was like, oh, okay, this new direction I think I like a little better.
I liked it a lot. I thought that was a really good one. That was creepy as fuck.
Mhm.
Excellent
I like it when that
narrating, too.
happens.
I need somebody to do a goofy one so I don't feel bad.
Crab is next.
Whoa.
Crab is next. So,
Oh yeah, don't worry, I got you.
am I presenting or are you presenting?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we're so back.
Oh yeah, we are so back.
Oh boy.
It hasn't loaded on my screen yet.
Oh boy.
Crab, what was your
All right,
theme?
I'm glad you asked, Carlos. My theme was garbage, so yeah, this is Crab Creepypasta 2024 edition. The title is Why I No Longer Look for Free Shit at the Landfill. A true story.
I like the no capitalization. It's a bold choice.
Yeah. If anyone's reading this, you have to help me. This stupid laptop only has like 3% battery left. I'm not sure if this router will work. This creepypasta forum is the only place I could get this message to post. But it's all completely true, and this is a genuine call for help. My situation is dire. I need help before that thing finds me again. I've been hiding here for what feels like hours. According to my watch, it's only been 30 minutes. I'm really impatient, but seriously, if I don't get help in the next few hours, I don't think I'll make it. I'll start by giving you the most important information. The stuff you'll need to come save me or call 911 on my behalf. My name is Tyler Hutchinson. I'm a senior in high school and I'm 6'2". I'm the most popular guy in my class, have no perceptible flaws based on this text, but I'm still relentlessly bullied by Butch and his two goons, Peter and Jedediah.
Whoa.
It all started one day, as me and my best friends Toby and Samantha were all getting off the bus. Samantha came from a poor family, and as such, she dug around in the landfill after school. It was like thrifting for her, and presumably for poor people everywhere. Those wacky pores. Samantha asked the two of us if we wanted to look for cool stuff in the landfill with her. I was totally down because
Roderick!
except that Kevin reasonably dogged my allowance for being mean to my mom, who was, in my defense, totally slacking recently. All she has to fucking do is cook us dinner after she gets home from her 9-hour shift at the bank. Is that too much to ask? Toby was less eager. I don't know, guys, he said. We called him a pussy. He told us to eat a dick. It looked like we'd be playing duos instead of squads this time. Oh well, that just meant more sick landfill loot for me.
Are you Roderick?
I'm Tyler Hutchinson. The landfill was a wondrous place. Once we dug past used syringes and discarded food waste, all manner of things was possible. I was able to rig up a working PC setup and I found some cool CD-ROM. CD-ROM labeled Skyrim.exe. Samantha found some cool Chinese-looking box thing. It looked Chinese or something, I don't know, I'm from Mississippi. I put it in the CD-ROM and was shocked when Skyrim began to appear on the ancient screen. But something wasn't right. Instead of normal menu screen, it was a picture of analog horror John Taffer.
Holy shit.
Oh,
I didn't know.
no.
Well, if it isn't Samantha and Tyler, or should I say the trash takers, said a familiar voice 30 minutes later.
Whoa.
Thank you. It was Butch, with zero self-awareness for the fact that he was in the same landfill. I paid him no mind. I was playing Skyrim. Samantha frowned. Then I started noticing something strange about my game. I was massacring the people of Whiterun when I realized all of their faces were realistic versions of people I know. Dorks, did you hear me? Butch asked. Peter danced in a way that demeaned us. Jedediah chimes in. We're here for you. Samantha rolls her eyes. I wish the trash would come to life and brutally murder the three of you.
Holy shit.
Suddenly, Samantha's music box
Imagine.
began to sing to life. It played some unknowable Chinese tune as the ground below us began to tremble. A massive amalgamation of trash bags, used needles, and all manner of disgusting detritus formed. It let out an unearthly roar. The three bullies screamed. The trash monster quickly gobbled up Peter. Butch and Jedediah ran off, pursued by the beast. What is that? Screamed Samantha. I told her to shut up. I was playing Skyrim. As I went up into Dragon's Reach to slay Jarl Balgruuf, I screamed. The Jarl had my face. What is that? I screamed.
Holy
The
shit.
landfill soundscape became an orchestra of chaos. The screams of my bullies and the hunger growls of the trash beast were inescapable. I continued to stare at the Balgriff wearing my face when realistic blood began pouring from his eyes.
Oh.
I screamed and reflexively punched the monitor. I had enough of Skyrim.exe. I withdrew my now bleeding hand from the shattered screen and recoiled in horror when I saw that somehow the screen fixed itself, and the Balgriff creature wearing my face was looking at me angry. Samantha said something along the line of, "You fucking idiot, pay attention, that thing just ate Butch and Jedediah." I replied cleverly, "Shut up, woman, this video game is scaring me."
Oh my god.
Suddenly,
Oh my
the
god!
entity within the game pulled out a bow and arrow. I narrowly dodged out of the way as an arrow flew out of the screen. Samantha wasn't so lucky. I looked over her lifeless body. "Damn," I said. Suddenly, the sound of the trash beast monster footsteps frightened me from my PC setup, and I hastily constructed a trash bunker. I couldn't believe that one of my best friends was dead. I should have listened to Toby. I should never have entered this landfill in search of free random bullshit. This was the worst day of my life. So now, I'm writing this from the trash bunker, on a laptop that is nearly dead. You need to send help now. If you don't send assistance ASAP, the trash monster could find me here, and oh god, he's here. Hello, humans. The trash monster isn't real. This is a fictional story. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this account for more fun fictional stories.
No.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Cinema.
Absolute
I can't
cinema.
believe he plagiarized his work.
That was
Plagiarized
no
the trash
notes.
monster.
No notes. I don't know. Anything I could add would take away.
Thank you.
That was
You're a genius.
That was one of the
I
best
bow.
stories I've ever heard in my entire life, Crab. That was
Thank you so much.
the symbolism with the Skyrim port in the trash.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like
What
that
was the
arrow
name of
coming
the
out of the screen in
movie?
absolute
Fashion.
What was the name of that
What?
movie with the wishing box where the girl gave leprosy to
Wishing
her
Pod?
bully?
Yeah, Wishapod.
Yeah.
So that was literally the
Wizards
box
of
from
Waverly
Wishing Pod.
Place.
I had to meticulously crop it out of a scene.
I thought I recognized that box from somewhere.
Yeah.
Next up is going to be Kitty's, and she has a bit of a very unique delivery system for this one.
Well, I thought everyone was gonna do like sick amazing attempts, so I put way too much effort into this.
As
Um,
you should.
well, I didn't fucking know that, did I? Carlos, if you could pull it up on your screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I got it here. Hold on one second.
We can kind of tag team this if you want.
You tell me. Like, would you rather read it? Or,
Well, I figured because there's two people interacting,
okay.
you can be Fun Yam 1993.
Funyun?
Fun Yam.
Funyam. Okay, gotcha.
What's so fun about the goddamn yam?
Well, I
You're
don't
about
know.
to see. Hold on.
They don't call them sweet potatoes for nothing.
There you go. All right. So, yeah, for Kitty's Creepypasta, we have for you a Reddit. So we just have we're on naughty 90s nostalgia. Very concerning title, but we will
McDonald's.
hop in. We see there's only one post that appears on here from the Golden Kitty. Let's see what I miss when.
Hey guys, does anyone remember those amazing birthday parties from back in the 90s? Going to McDonald's for your party meant you were the absolute king of kids. I'd completely forgotten about how the place used to look until I was going through some old photos my mom took. The thing is, though, I noticed some weird shit in them too. My mom kept some of the most useless shit, including the RSVPs from all the kids who came to my birthday parties, and there's always one extra than someone in the picture. There's also some weird red eye in pictures too, but not on everyone. I only had 2 parties there, but I'm gonna go to the abandoned restaurant tonight for old time's sake. I figured waiting for my friend's birthday would be fun. Here's some of the old pics. My 3rd birthday party, my 6th, and then one of my best friend, the birthday boy. When I asked my mom about the missing kids, she remembered that at least one of the kids had disappeared. Rumor was the kid had been killed by their dad, but it wasn't ever proven. I'll update tomorrow with some new pics and how things go.
Hey, let's look at these pics here. I mean, it's a nice birthday party here. I thought that was just like an entity on the right there for instance.
Right.
Oh, that's spooky back there. Look at that.
Ronald.
Ooh.
So there is something strange about all three of the pictures.
Yeah, that burger's pretty strange.
That kid looks like he's like 60 in there. I don't know why. He looks really wrinkly.
If you can you make it bigger?
I can probably like enhance.
Enhance.
I cannot enhance.
What if you open the image in like a new tab?
Oh yeah. It just puts it back
Yeah,
on
it lets
Reddit.
you zoom in
Wow.
if you do that.
It's not
If you open in a new tab, it should.
It
If
does
you
not.
right click and open the image in new
That's
tab.
what I was doing. It wasn't. It was just
Oh,
loading
okay.
another Reddit again.
Reddit's just weird then.
Huh. It usually works.
Man, I love these things. So many OSHA violations back then. You can get a pic of the ball pit.
So yesterday. Update. Man, being back in there was so creepy. I really shouldn't have gone alone. Managed to get at least one photo as the sun was coming up, but my flash wouldn't work and there was this weird moment when all the windows lit up with light. Managed to take the pic then. My ass is too big to get in that fucking tube, so I couldn't get a good pic of the ball pit, unfortunately.
Whoa.
What's that? I think I see something in the windows.
What is that?
Where's Global?
What's he doing in there?
That is really fucking.
shoes- whose
That's
shoes
really
are
fucking
those?
spooky.
Alright, guys, I'm sorry it was me.
Goddamn.
Weren't you going in with your friend? The one whose birthday it is? Did they back out? That sucks.
How? I don't know what you mean. I don't know anyone with a birthday today.
Well, you said. And this is the post from the day of yore.
What the fuck?
Is this a different post?
Down, girl.
That's so
Bigger.
mean.
Is this different in here?
So in that screenshot, it looks as though all mentions of the friend is missing.
What the fuck's going on here?
So, update from today. I don't know what's going on. I've spent the last day trying to figure out what's going on. I've never seen that picture before, and the post doesn't look like yours to me. Maybe I should go back and check again. Something isn't right, and I'm scared. There's nothing about a childhood best friend. I was always by myself, a loner after kindergarten. I'm gonna go back tonight. If I don't post again by tomorrow, I went to the abandoned McDonald's in Adak, Alaska, 99546.
Stay safe. Try live streaming. In the best case scenario, you get Twitch famous for showing a creepy place. Good luck. Is that the end of
That's
the
a
tale?
fun fact. That McDonald's does actually exist.
Oh, does it?
You type in abandoned McDonald's, Adak, Alaska.
I've been to Alaska.
Let me look this
Mr.
up.
McDonald's.
Look at this.
Whoa.
Yeah, I actually abandoned it.
You abandoned it in
Personally did that?
1994?
Yeah.
Tommy is Ronald McDonald.
Oh, he sounds more like Ronald's dad.
Ronald McDonald.
That's really unsettling, especially in Alaska. That looks fucking like it's in the middle of Gmod
Yeah.
fucking
Hey,
grassland.
it's the Gmod.
It looks like a Gmod map. It looks like it's fucking okay. There is like stuff around it, but like that's like unsettling though. That's really fucking creepy.
That first
Apparently
picture looked like it was a
town
fucking
has-
Silent Hill sky.
Yeah, apparently there's only 300 residents of the town.
That's how it is for a
Well,
lot of
that's
places
why
in
the
Alaska.
business failed.
That's
None
most
of
of
them would have worked at
Oklahoma.
McDonald's.
It says New Jersey. Is there any more to the
That's all
post, or
Alaska.
was that the end of it?
That's the end of it.
That was
The-
beautiful.
I mean,
Nice.
they're not coming back. So each of the photos does have, if you look at the original post, if you look real close on each of them, there's something strange in all of them.
guy.
In this one, there's 2.
Oh wait, I see McDonald's back there.
Oh my god.
He's lurking. I didn't see him before. Oh shit, Demon Kid.
Demon Child?
Yeah, look, he's got red eyes.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, a few of them have red eyes.
Here's the blurred
There's-
kid.
This kid is like
There's
melting.
in the
things
middle.
different in this
In the
one.
middle, there's Ronald McDonald, like in the wall.
Oh yeah,
like
in the
blurred
wall.
out in.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he is like imposed on the wall here.
Shit.
All right, so that's the 1, 2. What's the third creepy thing? Other than this kid's fucking flashbanging me.
There's just disembodied arms. If you count the
Oh, there
number of
are.
arms.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Left side, yeah.
spooky, spooky.
These are all
Scary.
genuine. These are actual people as well, by the way. I want to make that clear. Someone posted these pictures. I just kind of edited them. I don't know who these people are.
Where's
Oh
Ronald
shit,
on
on
this
the
one?
left, there's Kodo.
Oh yeah, look, there he is, Discodo.
What the fuck?
He's right there.
What are you doing back there?
Balloon.
The kid looks like he's 80 in this. I don't know why. Like, he looks like. Did you replace his face with like an old man's face? 'Cause
No, that is genuinely the photo.
he looks so
I
old in
didn't do
this. Am I
any
correct?
manipulation to that one except for Ronald in the background.
I like Ronald. Oh, he's fucking Slender Man back there. That was really, like definitely the most creative presentation so far.
Yeah,
I like.
the format's pretty nice.
It was
I
really
like
cool.
mixed medium.
This-
And I
this is
made
a winner.
whole ass fucking Reddit for you guys.
It was beautiful.
Wow.
Now let's see what subreddits
We should
you're
start
on.
posting on there.
No, that's my actual Reddit. It's a new one, but like.
You were doing the same thing to me.
Yeah, not on stream.
Was Evan Fun Yam 1993?
Yeah, that's
No,
a throwaway account that I made.
Okay. All right. Next up, we'll have Brett. How would you like to present this one?
I think I'm going to go ahead and present it myself.
Wonderful. By all means, then.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to do the presentation on my phone, and then I have to read it off my
And
computer.
then Smest will be the last one.
Huh?
Do you not? Sorry, I forget if you said you were doing it or not.
No, I wasn't doing it.
And Brett, you were the grand finale.
Oh gosh.
We can always go
Delightful.
back and
How
watch.
do I-
Scared the
We
shit
could
out
read
of me,
through
Carlos.
the man who tried to out pizza the hut again.
How do I share your screen?
Girls are out here making me think I had to for fucking present something.
Just connect to the bedroom TV, Brett, for fuck's sake.
Stream it directly to your fiance. It's just gonna be a whole montage of just embarrassing Brett
Yep.
photos from.
Oh, wait, hold on, Brett.
The Christmas party.
There is an issue on Discord. You cannot stream on your phone and speak at the same time. Same as the issue. Same has the same issue.
Oh, so is he talking right now and we can't hear
Yeah,
him?
he's probably talking right now and we can't hear him.
No.
Oh, rip.
Okay.
Carlos, I guess we're.
All right. Give me 1 second then.
Wait, Brett, I have an idea. If you just
Yeah.
send it to Carlos, you can just have him go like next slide, and you can read it.
All right. That'll work.
If you want to get overly complicated, you could get on your mic and join Discord from the Xbox. You wouldn't be able to share anything, actually. Never mind. That probably wouldn't work. You need to make like a
Alright,
second
yeah, I
Discord
will.
account to like talk, and then your phone Discord to
All right,
present.
Brett. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a second account, and then you send me your zip code. And...
What's your social security number?
We need that
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
let's
creepypasta, the scariest pasta of all.
Okay, so
Identity
basically you gotta
theft.
make yourself a new identity.
Yeah, what's up, Tommy?
If I so I found one of my old PowerPoints. School. It's the English Civil War. If I send it to you, will you give me a grade on it?
Sure.
Sick.
We'll do that
I don't
after.
have a rubric. I don't know what I'm grading you on.
All right.
We'll do it live,
I
Tommy.
just sent the 2, Carlos.
Do it live? Yeah, we can do it live.
I don't know if it has any important. Brett, you need to send it to me with like anyone with this link can do it.
Oh, okay.
If you just share it, then I need to like ask for It's like a process.
This is so embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
I'm
You
so
can't-
Here you go,
embarrassed.
Crab.
I'm
Is
so
this-
embarrassed.
Discord failed you, not you didn't fail you.
I'll check it out after Brett's done.
Right,
that-
anyone with the link. Okay, permission has been updated.
Does it have personal information on it, Tommy?
No, it's just the English Civil War.
Alright. Here, send it to me, Tommy. I'll put it on the stream and then Crab will rate it live.
Okay.
Alright, let me see.
Alright.
Yeah, here we go. I got it. Here, Brett.
All right.
Let me, 1 second. Let me just set it up.
Don't scroll down, Carlos.
I didn't scroll down at all.
Don't. No, I trust you. I'm just saying, don't do it.
I wouldn't do that.
Do it.
Good.
I would.
Alright. Also, I forgot, Kitty, what was your topic? I forgot what was to ask you.
Oh, it was birthdays.
There we go. Birthdays. And Brett, what is your topic?
My topic is the surprise tool that we'll use later.
Oh, you don't want to reveal it yet.
Kinky.
Mystery Mask at the Wall.
Alright. So if you would like to read, by all means, Brett, you have the floor.
All right. So my story is: there is a reason the adults in my town stay away from the baked goods factory, and you should too. Next slide, Carlos. Yes, that's the right one. This event transpired several years ago, but until now I haven't felt safe to report it. I had to wait until I graduated high school and was able to leave my town for college. But even then, I didn't know where to post it. I can't report it anywhere. No one would believe me. My earnest desire is that in reading this, you simply avoid the town. If you do end up visiting, at the very least, avoid the abandoned baked goods factory, for it isn't as abandoned as you may be led to believe. For the sake of keeping thrill seekers away from there, I will change the names and locations, but the following events are very true and have left me scarred for life. In order to understand why this was so impactful, some necessary backstory is needed. I grew up in a small town in rural Pennsylvania. Let's call it Springfield. I moved there during the summer between my 3rd and 4th grade years. My father worked for a major agricultural plant and was the overseer of fertilizer production on several large plots of land. My mother was a former teacher who retired when I was born, and in order to earn some extra money, she began to work as a tutor. After a few weeks in the new neighborhood, she took me along to one of her clients' houses for a play day. That is where I met who would become my 2 closest friends, Ashley and Travis. We immediately hit it off like 3 peas in a pod. Come the school year, we all had classes together, and all subsequent years, up until high school and my early teens, I made it clear to Travis that I had a crush on Ashley. He said it was fine, but freshman year of high school was the first time we had been separated. I had only a single class with Travis, while him and Ashley had several together. We still had lunch together, but I could sense the relationship developing without me. I had turned from a pea into a pod, into a third wheel. I thought I was okay with it. My 2 friends were going to stay together, but there was an increasing feeling of isolation that only grew. By the time sophomore year rolled around, they were in full-blown relationship. I was jealous, but never made it known, and this jealousy grew into hidden resentment towards Travis. I felt so terribly lonely. During that next summer, I made the decision to better myself. I began working out and studied the Word of God. 1 Peter 3:9. Do not repay evil for evil while reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless, for this you are called, that you may obtain a blessing. I don't remember writing that. Next slide.
Whoa.
I don't remember writing that.
I don't remember writing that. I set myself to giving up my jealous heart and resolved to do better the next school year. Fortunately, junior year, we had several classes together, and I did just that until one fateful day. It was the 9th anniversary of a high school girl disappearing, which always led to dark speculating jokes from classmates. This year in particular, there was a ruckus about an abandoned baked goods factory a few miles out of town. What a load of crap, Ashley stated, reasonably skeptic. Everyone I've ever met seems to know someone who knows someone who has been there, but not a single person has ever seen it. Yeah, I don't buy it either, Travis agreed. It just seems to me that a factory this close to town with nothing to do here would be a more popular hangout spot if it actually existed. Feeling the need to contribute, I added, not a single person here has any idea where it even is. There was a brief pause. I do. We all turned around to see Ancilius, the town goth, standing at 6'1" and less than 160 pounds.
What's his name?
The sunlight glint. Ancilius. Standing at 6'1" and less than 160 pounds, and with the sun glinting off his many facial piercings, he gave off an otherworldly appearance, like a vision of death standing before us. I've been there before. None of you know what you're talking about. Ashley immediately jumped to defense of everyone, aggressively pointing her perfectly formed porcelain finger at him. No, you haven't. No one has. Because it doesn't exist. This rumor has been around for years, and not a single damn person here has even glimpsed the place. I stepped in, trying to defuse the situation. Let's not fight. He says he's seen it. We have no reason not to believe him. Where's the factory? It's not really near any known areas. You have to take several dirt roads to get there, or you'll never figure out where it is, if you haven't been there before. Exactly, Ashley. How perfectly convenient it can't be found unless you've been there before, so nobody can prove you otherwise. At this, Ancilius was clearly angered, and in a hot flash of emotion spat out, "Fine, I'll take you there myself, if you'll quit calling me a liar." Both Travis and I froze, a quiet tension hanging in the air as we proceeded, or processed what he just said, and all that it entailed. "When?" I managed to ask. "Tonight," Ancilius replied sternly. For the briefest moment, I thought I saw a malevolent light flash behind his eyes, but in a moment it was gone, and I thought nothing more of it. That afternoon, we were leaving school. We met in the parking lot to drive to Travis's house. I made eye contact with Ancilius as he was walking out of school, and he shot me a curt nod. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about him, and Lord knows I wish I'd acted upon that notion. All four of us met up at Ancilius' house. "Ready?" asked Ancilius. "Mostly to be disappointed," retorted Ashley. "First things first," I interjected. "We need gear. Next slide."
There we go.
We stopped by the local Meijer to pick up flashlights, but they had expanded the makeup department and moved the outdoor section to the back corner of the store. This place has really gone downhill, I thought to myself. They used to have a lot of fishing gear too, but now it's mostly cheap flashlights and camping chairs. They even got rid of the worm fridge. After finding the flashlights, we checked out.
Targeted targeted entry in the creepypasta at Myers.
All of this is true about my local Meijer, by the way.
It's an official call-out post
so.
to Brett's local Myers.
This is an official fucking call-out. I'm pissed about it. I went in the other day and I couldn't find any fucking worms. After finding the flashlights, we checked out and made our way back to the car, where we opened the flashlights to put batteries in them. We were then on our way. We took the main road out of town. But right as we reached the border, Ancilius had us take a road I'd never taken before. It was paved, but was so neglected it might as well have been a gravel road. We passed the skeletal remains of abandoned farms, from when our town was doing better financially. We continued for 10 or so minutes, and I couldn't help but notice the shadows cast by the sparse trees were reaching further and further across the road as the sun was setting. As the sun reached the horizon line, Ancilius instructed a sharp left turn onto a road in even worse shape. Long tufts of grass slapping the underside of the car as we made our way towards a wall of trees, all while the fiery eye of the sun dipped further out of sight. We abandoned the panoramic colors of the sunset for the dark embrace of the thick woods. The illumination of the high beams did its best to cut through the inky black, but it only served to increase the feeling of isolation as the darkness of the woods settled around us. As we went further and further, I couldn't help but feel an unknown entity was watching us from just outside our lights. I glanced at the others to see if they felt it too, but I could only see the silhouette of Ashley, black against the pale green glow of the dashboard lights. I have no idea if I was just feeling nervous. In hindsight, I don't think I was, and I regret not speaking up. Without warning, the forest peeled open, exposing a large clearing, in the center of which, illuminated under the cold light of a full moon, lay an enormous building. It appeared to be some massive factory, its massive doors off their hinges exposing its maw-like interior. As we got closer, its great chimneys grew even taller, blotting out the moon and bathing us in its shadow. The building must have been at least 3 stories tall, but was primarily a large single room. To the side was the start of a foundation, the weathered bulldozing equipment long since abandoned, and succumbing to the immutable effects of rust. As we pulled to a stop, our lights shone on an enormous tree stump, the largest I'd ever seen. Its mighty roots extended far to every side like a great compass rose. And of all the decay around it, only the stump stood unmolested by the touch of rot. "Still think I was lying?" asked Concilius with a trace of smugness. "I suppose I can't argue with this," replied Ashley, defeated, as we opened our car doors and stepped out. Removed from the protective enclosure of the car, the feeling of being watched immediately returned, along with an intense feeling of foreboding. Not to be outed as a coward, I put on a brave face and asked with a smile, "You all ready?" "Let's go," shouted Ashley and Travis in unison, but I couldn't help to notice Ancilius's lack of enthusiasm. The first thing I did was make my way over to the tree stump. As I got closer, I was better able to appreciate the scale of it. Spanning at least 20 feet in diameter, it stood as high as my shoulders. Getting closer, I could see that it was hollow. I grabbed the rim and hoisted myself up, and looking down, I expected to see a rotten hollow, but instead was greeted with a smooth, flat bottom. It struck me as odd, but nothing more. The others called me back over as they were making their way towards the entrance of the factory. I looked up at the sky as I walked towards them. The moonlight faded the stars a bit, but it was still beautiful. My eyes darted back to 2 much brighter stars. Transfixed, I stared at them while walking to the group, so much so that I bumped into Travis. "Watch it," he shouted. "What were you doing?" "They were 2 bright stars. I think they might have been planets. Ashley, do you know?" I asked, knowing she secretly loved astronomy. "Which ones?" she replied, but when I pointed to them, they were lost in the sea of stars. "Never mind," I grumbled. "Let's keep moving." The enormous doors were wide open for trucks to back up to them. They were massive and foreboding, but we trekked in. Next slide.
Oh my, I'm spooked.
And actually, it's next slide. I got in the zone.
Oh, we missed it. Well, we appreciate this.
Cornfield.
We appreciate this sweeping shot first. Did you take this picture?
Very nice cornfield.
No, all of these were offline.
Did you take this picture?
I did not. Next slide. Man, I went through a lot of.
We missed a lot of good ones.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Spooky stairs.
Never mind, I grumbled. Let's keep moving. The enormous doors were wide open, designed for trucks to back up to them. They were massive and foreboding, but we trekked in. The main room was enormous, our lights struggling to reach the far side. We lazily traced to the interior with our lights, illuminating foot by foot of our refuge for the night. On the left-hand side, there was a series of rooms, each with large broken windows looking into the main room. At the corners to our immediate left and back left were tall structures. "Staircases?" I posited to the group, who agreed. "Want to go up?" asked Ashley, clearly excited at the idea of spending the night exploring. "I'm not looking to fall through a crumbling staircase and dying," said Travis. "Same here," said Ancilius. Ashley looked towards me with a dejected look on her face. "I'll go," I said, realizing my opportunity. "Let's split into 2 groups and meet back up here in 30 minutes. Nobody taking issue with the idea, we split up into the groups. Ashley and I made our way to the stairwells. Reaching them, I froze. While the stairs were intact and did go up, I got goosebumps as I realized they also went down. The pitch-black pit swallowed our lights as we gazed down into the underbelly of this factory. A foul odor came wafting up on the suggestion of a breeze. "What's the matter?" Ashley asked. "I don't love this," I said, pointing down into the void. "It's a factory. Of course there's going to be a basement. Some animals probably live down there," she said, explaining away the odor. I looked at her, the light of the flashlight bouncing off her eyes and making them sparkle in the darkness. Overcome with the desire to be alone with her, I accepted her explanation and we made our way up the stairs. Next slide. I had never seen more stars than when we made it onto the roof of the factory. In the years since, In the years since it had been abandoned, various grasses had taken root on the roof and gave it the illusion of some dewy field. Sparkling in the moonlight, the drops of dew on the blades of grass made it hard to tell where the roof stopped and the stars began. The sky was dazzling, while the moon did make it harder to see the stars than it would have been otherwise. I stared in awe into the midnight firmament, stippling with glowing beads of light. "This is incredible," Ashley whispered. "I'm sorry," I said. "Oh, I said this is incredible, the stars." "No, I heard what you said. I'm just apologizing," I said, looking into her eyes. "For what?" she asked with a nervous laugh. "I spent the last few years jealous of you and Travis, and I can't stand the fact that I let it get in the way of our friendship. I had feelings for you back in middle school, but in high school you clearly had better chemistry, and I let myself be jealous of you both instead of being happy that my two favorite people cared for each other as much as I cared for them." "Oh, I never realized. I mean, I noticed you were being more standoffish, but I had no idea that was why. I'm sorry too. I should have tried harder to make sure you weren't feeling isolated," she responded, sincerity hanging off her every word. I stared at her and she stared at me, the moon's light making her already pale skin look like porcelain. A rustling noise snapped us out of our trance, and we shined our lights around, nervously, trying to find the source of the noise. "Let's head back," I said shakily. She nervously nodded her head in response, and I led the way downstairs, as she held the back of my shirt. Despite what I had said earlier about being happy for them, I secretly loved her being this near while we were alone. I slowly made my way downstairs, making a show of checking every step carefully with my light, and trying everything I could to extend our current situation. We finally made our way to the bottom level. I heard a faint scratching noise coming from just down the stairs, out of sight of our lights. We stepped quickly away from the stairwell, entering the main room. Next slide.
Lovely.
A horrible feeling of dread washed over me as I scanned my flashlight around the room. Nobody was there. It was empty. We called their names, but we were met with nothing but silence. "They're probably in the side rooms," she guessed. I agreed, and we began our search. The side rooms were lined up like a partitioned hallway, the doors offset so you couldn't see into more than one room at a time. We picked our way room by room, stepping over broken glass and discarded refuse. There was an abandoned old tent and what appeared to be a homeless person's camp. I stepped over some gnawed-open tin cans and we trudged on, but not a sound was heard from our missing friend and associate. We reached the final room and a horrible realization dawned on me. They're in the basement. How would they be there? Her earlier bravery long since dissolved, but she knew what I said was right. "Let's go then," she said, once again trying to put on a brave face, but her shaking voice gave away her fear. I made my way to the second staircase, no less terrifying than the last. Plaster and paint littered the steps, giving the illusion of discolored snow. I stared into the dark once again, the unpleasant odor reaching my nostrils. One step at a time, we made our way down. Every flight, the darkness becoming more suffocating as it closed around us. The beams of our lights became ever less effective as the darkness seemed to encroach on even them. After what seemed like an eternity, we reached the flat ground of the basement floor. The smell was stronger than ever, and I cast my light around, seeing nothing but dingy puddles and more trash. We made our way into the hall. We searched room after room, turning up nothing. In a moment of terror, I felt the feeling of being watched return. Every primordial alarm bell was firing off. Something was watching us from just out of sight. "We need to leave," I hissed. "We can't find We can't. Travis is still missing. We can't leave without him," she replied shakily, with a clear resolution to her tone. "Fine, but I have a bad feeling." We made our way ever deeper into the heart of the basement, the feeling getting stronger and the odor more powerful. Next slide.
What? No.
Until we walked into one room that stood out. I stepped in something wet and shined my light down. The floor was covered in a viscous red fluid. A feeling of dread washed over me, which only reached new heights as I looked up from the floor. In the back of the room was an amorphous pile of corpses, animals of all shapes and sizes. Some were flesh, loosely clinging to bone, but others were much fresher. A fresher body of some deer exhibited numerous round bites taken cleanly out of its flesh. My nerves gave out, and in atavistic terror, I grabbed Ashley and ran. We took off towards the stairs. I somehow knew that looking back would be the death of us. We reached the stairs, and the sounds of our feet echoed up the stairwell, but over the din of our own steps, I could clearly hear a smaller set of footsteps, rapidly growing louder. Next slide. We exploded out of the dark into the relative brightness of the warehouse as we fled toward the car. Ashley almost slipped from the transition from concrete to wet grass, grabbing my arm for stability. She didn't let go until the car was in sight. A shadowy figure lurked next to it, and we came sliding to a halt, our lights starting to the figure. Ancilius was standing next to the 2014 Kia Sorento, but Travis was nowhere to be seen. "Where the hell is Travis?" demanded Ashley, trying hard to shout while out of breath. "He went into the basement. Did something happen?" responded Ancilius. "You left him in that basement alone?" Ashley was unable to believe what she was hearing. "I did not leave him," Ancilius snapped back. "He insisted on going down there, and I told him not to, that it was dangerous, and he ignored me and went anyway." Something about his response sat poorly with me, so I pressed him. "How did you know all that was down there?" "Know what was down there? It's a basement, underneath the abandoned factory. Of course it would be dangerous." Just then, some movement atop the factory caught my attention. Where Ashley and I had been bonding not 40 minutes prior, I could see a shadow moving around in the grass. "We have to leave right now," I demanded, while shoving everyone into the car. The sound of our tires peeling out was drowned out by the scream coming from the factory. "Travis!" Ashley screamed and reached for the door handle. Ancilius grabbed her, giving me time to turn on the child lock. She sobbed as she half-heartedly yanked on the handle, in rhythm with her gasps for air. I drove as fast as I could down the poorly paved road, occasionally glancing in the mirror to check on Ashley. Every time I looked back, I half expected to see the horrifying visage of some deformed creature chasing us, but we were alone. We shot through the woods much faster than we did on the way in. Suddenly, there was a break in the trees and we shot out into the open sky. All I could see was a telephone pole straight ahead. I skidded to a halt, narrowly avoiding slamming into it, with the road making a sharp left turn. No one said a word as I reoriented the car and continued down the road, this time a bit slower. A good while later, we arrived at Ancilius's house. He walked up to it, head down, sparing only a shameful glance our way as he closed the door. A tangible silence hung in the air as we drove into town to drop her off. She was clutching her knees tight to her chest as if she was afraid that they too would be taken from her. "Ash," I started but stopped as I realized I didn't know what to say to her. She peered at me over her knees, but not another word was spoken. I dropped her off. Sleep was no refuge for my tormented mind. I woke in panic every 12 to 15 minutes, flipping on the lights to confirm I was alone in my room. It was a feeble attempt to convince myself that my dreams were lies, that I was safe. It didn't work. Every time I closed my eyes, the shadows would come to life. At some point, I managed to fall asleep, deeper than before. I was back in the warehouse. Travis and Ashley were staring down into the abyss darkness of the basement. I walked up behind them and tried to talk to them, but they both ignored me like I didn't exist. I yelled both their names, but nothing. I tried to tap Travis on the shoulder, but my hand went through him. In anger and desperation, I screamed and swung my fist at him. It connected with a meaty thwack. He turned in the air as he fell into the void, a silent scream on his lips and a desperate fear in his eyes. Ashley let out a wail as she crumpled to the ground. I stared at her, wanting to apologize, to say something, anything, but nothing came out. I began to walk away. I tried desperately to stop, but my body was being controlled by something other than me. Her sobs grew fainter and fainter as I walked out of sight. I awoke, my body shivering with cold sweat. I looked at my clock, and it was 4:53 in the morning. Next slide. It was still dark as I pulled up to Ashley's house, but I could see her light was on, her form silhouetted in the curtains. Like she knew I was coming. She opened them and looked out her window at me. I waved, and she disappeared into her room, the light flicking off. Within a moment, she was out the door and headed towards me. "We have to go back and save him," she said. I was struck with how rapidly she transitioned from grief to resolution. I was even more surprised with how quickly I agreed with her. "Ancilius knows what happened," she stated bluntly. "How do you know that?" "He was just as scared as we were." He was waiting at the car, not in the warehouse, and he said he had been there before. There was something he isn't telling us, and I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out. I stared at her, but there was a resolute light glowing behind her hazel eyes. I couldn't abandon her again. I couldn't abandon Travis again. We both climbed into my car and began headed northwest towards Encelius, and hopefully the truth. After what seemed like ages of dipping in and out of the lights of our town street lamps, we arrived. My headlights cast a wide arc over the front of his house, a pale face reflected in the light back at us. He sat on his front porch in the porch swing, shut off the car, and we began to make our way up to the Porsche, Ashley leading the way. The dry crunch of our footsteps on the leaves was punctuated by the shrill squeaks of the swinging chain. The porch boards creaked as he stood up and began to make his way towards us. I take it you know why we're here? Ashley asked. I do, Encelius replied, confirming what we already knew. I've got good news and bad news. I don't know what happened to Travis, but I had good reason to expect it was going to happen. I am sorry. Genuinely, I hoped it wouldn't again happen, but it did. If you thought it would happen, why wouldn't you warn us ahead of time? Hell, why would you bring us there at all? Ashley asked, her anger reaching a boiling point. Encelius stood in silence. Cold wind blew in, kicking up leaves, and the chain resumed squeaking. Despite her fiery countenance, I saw Ashley shiver in the cold autumnal air. Let's resume this talk in the car. Next slide, I said, finally breaking the silence. Encelius sat in the front of the car with me, while Ashley sat behind me in the back of the car. I switched on the seat warmers and turned the air to a warmer temperature. I backed out of the driveway, gravel crunching beneath the tires. I put the car into drive, and we headed out into the night. Unlike earlier that night, the darkness felt like a refuge. With our faces obscured by the shadows, it offered everyone a feeling of anonymity, and within that anonymity, our frayed nerves calmed. I made my way down the street of our town, flanked by houses on either side. I began to pick up speed. We reached our only stoplight, and I made my way onto the highway. The sparse, glowing red taillights twinkled in and out of view, distant sparks blown in the wind. We drove in silence for several minutes, listening to the wind having a shouting match with the sound of our engine, each vying for our undivided attention. I felt more than saw Encelius turn to look back at Ashley. I am sorry, he choked out, on the verge of tears. Why did you let us go up there? Ashley asked, her voice dripping with heartache and a desperate plea for answer. The girl who disappeared, do you know her name? Encelius asked. It was Raven, wasn't it? I responded. It was. Her name was Raven. Raven Shattuck. Those words hung in the air as that's a Streets of Fire reference for you. Those words hung in the air as a horrible realization sank in. Your sister, Ashley whispered into the darkness. 9 years ago, my big sister asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I told her I wanted to go on an adventure with her. We never had much money growing up, and every year our birthdays were marked by disappointment, not celebration. She had just gotten her driver's license and a job, and I guess she just wanted to let me experience one actual happy birthday in my life. She was my hero, everything I ever strived to be. She didn't deserve what happened to her. We were just going to go camping in the woods. We went to Meyer, and she bought me a tent, some camping supplies, and some food. We
Good
made
old
our way
Meyer.
back to the car, good old Meyer, and loaded everything up. I think that was the last time I truly felt joy. I was so excited to spend time with her. He struggled with the last few words and began to quiet down. He was facing the window, but I could see his shoulders heaving. A comforting hand reached in the back seat and held his shoulder. After a minute or two, he recovered his composure and continued with the story. We drove out of town, ready for my adventure, and we tried to do everything we could to get lost. Next slide. We took numerous random turns, heading down roads we had never been to before. Eventually, we reached a forest. I think you both know which one. We tried to go as deep into it as we could, but instead, we found the factory. You wouldn't know it, but during the day, it's everything a kid could possibly want. To me, it was a giant jungle gym. I ran all around the main floor while Raven set up her camp in one of the side rooms. When I found the staircases, I sprinted back to her, telling her all about what I had discovered. She had finished setting up the camp by this point, and we both went over to check it out. She was understandably hesitant about heading into the basement, but we both enthusiastically bolted up the stairs. It was the highest I'd ever been. I was convinced that it was the tallest building in the world. We walked all over the roof, and when I was on the edge of the roof, I saw the giant tree stump that you checked out last night. I was dumbfounded that a tree could possibly get so large. And Raven made her way over, and she too was struck by how big it was. She pointed at the fire escape ladder nearby, and asked if I wanted to climb down it. She started first, and I followed after. I almost slipped on a broken rung, but I managed to catch myself. We ran around the tree and the factory for hours. By the time I was worn out, the sun was getting near the tree line. We got back to our tent, and she warmed up some canned chili from her camp stove, and I recounted my heroic adventures from that day. I remember thinking to myself that after that day I could die happy. We sat in silence, in the dark. We hungrily ate our chili straight out of the can. That was when I noticed how quiet it was. Not a creature stirred, not a bird called, nothing. I think she noticed it too, but didn't want to freak me out. Suddenly she froze, staring through the doorway towards the staircase. I started to ask what was wrong, but she shuffled me. That was when I heard it. It was very faint, but I could distinctly hear chittering noises and scratching noises coming from the stairwell. I only started to panic when I realized they were getting louder, but Raven did everything she could to keep me from freaking out. A loud screech echoed throughout the whole factory, and Raven stood bolt upright. By that point, I was delirious with terror, but I knew she could keep me safe. So I held on to that thought, and it calmed me down. She held out her hand, and I reached out to grab it, but instead of holding it, she gave me something. It was her car key. She told me to wait there and that she would check it out, to scare away the animals. She stepped out of the room, and that was the last time I ever saw her. A bit later, I heard her scream in terror, and she yelled at me to run to the car. I ran as fast as I could. I heard her screams continue, followed by numerous shrieks. I made it out of the factory, and as I was running toward the car, I could hear something. I never saw what, closing in on me. I dove into the car and locked the doors. I curled up on the floor under the dashboard as I heard it slamming into the car, scratching at the doors and the windows trying to get in. I stayed in that position all night, thinking that every second it would manage to get into the car, and that was the longest night of my life. I still wake up hearing those noises in my sleep. When the sun came up the next morning, it left. I don't know what it was, but it doesn't like the sunlight. Next slide. I started her car, and I managed to get all the way back to town in first gear. The cops immediately pulled me over, and I explained everything to them. My parents met me at the police station and took me home. I explained it all to them as well. My mother broke down in tears, but neither of them made any attempt to go back to the factory. For years, I couldn't figure out why they weren't making an effort to solve what happened. Next slide. But one day, I figured out why. I was sitting on the stairs, listening to them argue in the living room, and my mom made repeated references to the factory, and I distinctly recalling her say, "I didn't think our daughter would be the next one." She then accused my dad of not supporting her in trying to fix this, and stormed out of the house. I never saw her again. My dad never did tell me what happened to her, and the one time I asked what she had meant before she left, I thought he would kill me. I don't know what is down there, but what happens there isn't a secret. The police know, my parents knew, everyone probably knows. Each generation thinks they're just urban legends until they have their own round of victims. I've checked the town archives, and this has been happening since 1853. The same story has repeated almost 100 times, but I think it ends today. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the glint of metal in the dawning sun. Holy shit, is that a gun? Ashley asked, the excitement apparent in her voice. I spared a glance from the road and immediately recognized the matte gray and black of the iconic Block M3D. "You're serious about this, aren't you?" I asked Mancilius. I have spent the last 9 years avoiding coming to terms with what happened. I can't stand it anymore. I have to figure out what happened to Raven, and I can't forgive myself for bringing Travis and you all into this. I am sorry, and I am going to fix this, I promise. We will fix this, Ashley interjected. I'm not going to let you go in there alone. I'm as responsible for this as you are. We're going to go down there, and we're going to rescue Travis, and we're going to kill whatever twisted monstrosities are lurking about in that basement. No one else is ever going to have to go through what we have gone through. You're right, Incilius. It ends today. I think next slide? We'd been driving for a fair few hours at this point, and the sun had long since come up. I took the nearest exit and turned around to head back the way we came. We arrived in town around 10:45. The first stop was my house. I left the car running and ran in to grab the flashlights that we had purchased earlier. To be on the safe side, I flipped them on to check their battery life. The one Incilius had used was alright, but both mine and Ashley's flashlights were dead. I ran back down and hopped into my Kia Sorento and told them about the news. We returned to Meyer to grab more batteries. Fortunately, they are right by the self-checkout lanes, so it was a very quick trip to the local Meyer.
Always quick at Myers.
When we got
I
back to the
can't believe
car,
they
I
took away the
realized
worm fridge.
it's fucking bullshit. When we got back to the car, I realized it was lunchtime, but as it was Sunday, no restaurants were open. With no other options at our disposal, we went back into Meyer for the third time in 2 days. But this time, we bought food, not flashlights or batteries. Time crawled forward at an agonizing pace, slowly approaching the time when our fates would be decided. We planned to head back to the factory that evening. If we were going to take down whatever was in there, we'd have to do it when it's active. We waited until 5 o'clock to begin our journey. The route was the same as last time, but it felt even more off than it did previously. We entered the woods, and the intense feeling of isolation was replaced by an omnipresent knowing that we weren't alone at all. We entered the clearing and saw the silhouettes of the buildings lit from within by the low sun. The sun low on the horizon. Ancilius was the first one to step out of the car, and he rounded the front towards my door. Do you know how to shoot a gun? He asked. Yes. Do you not? I replied. He shook his head while reaching out and handing me the pistol. While Ashley banged on the window, I realized I had left the child locks on from the other night and opened the door for her. I thought you were both planning on leaving me behind. Christ, Ashley said with a touch of annoyance, shooting me a glare. She then looked over at Ancilius. First things first, we need to find Travis. I know you want revenge for your sister, but I think if we prioritize finding Travis, whatever it is will come to us. 2 birds with 1 stone. Ancilius and I could both see the logic in what she said, and we agreed to her plan. We started making our way into the main building. The sun by now had dipped behind the tree line. We could see in front of us, but the far corners were cloaked in shadows. Unable to see what was hiding on the outskirts of our lights, I felt the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I knew instinctively something was watching us. Judging by everyone's body language, they knew too. But unable to do anything about it, we continued our way towards the staircase. I knew deep inside with every step we were walking closer to our deaths. I tried to push the thought down, but I knew. Broken shards of glass crunched underfoot as we reached the stairwell. The familiar smell of what we now knew was death wafted from underground. Every alarm bell in my body was telling me to turn back, but some primordial fear sank into my very soul that I could not turn back. I could not abandon Travis, and I could not leave Ashley again. We came to this factory together, and we were going to leave it together, or we were going to rot in here together. I'll go in front. I have the gun. Ashley, you stay in the middle, and Ancilius, you stay in the back. I am counting on you to stay with us this time. Please. I'm not going anywhere, Ancilius responded assuringly, while Ashley, the reality of what we were doing sinking in, nodded in acquiescence. By the second flight of stairs, all light from above was blocked out. Next slide. The thin ropes of our lights were our lifelines, and I clenched my fist unconsciously around my flashlight, afraid to let go and fall into the darkness. Flight after flight, we descended. I paused on every landing to look back and make sure everyone was still there, terrified that I was going to look back and be alone. After what seemed like a brief eternity, the ground leveled and opened up to the labyrinthine basement. The corridor spread out in every direction, pipes like roots wove in and out of the ceiling and walls. I think next slide? I picked the corridor I thought I remembered, and we trekked into the halls. The knowledge that we were leaving behind our only way out was maddening, but we didn't slow. Our lights flicked from side to side, checking every door we passed, but nothing looked familiar. The smell. It grew stronger as we went. I knew we were on the right course. Water dripped from overhead, pooling onto the floor, and I got used to the sounds of stepping in it. The rhythmic wet slap of our steps comforting me, and telling me everyone was still there, even if I wasn't looking back. Then one of my footsteps sounded different than the prior ones, and I pointed my light down. Blood, red, reflected back up at me. Realized with horror I was standing in another pool of blood. I tracked the blood with my light, and it led into one of the nearby doors. We stepped in, and to this day I cannot properly explain what I saw. There appeared to be a series of wet cardboard boxes of all colors laying on the wet ground. What are those? Ancilius and Ashley asked in unison. I reached forward and picked up one of the boxes. Its bottom, wet with decay, fell out and something landed on my foot. I pointed my light down and gagged. Scattered about on the ground were chunks of flesh bitten off and left to rot. I stepped back and threw up in a corner. Is that human skin? Ashley asked in disbelief. And to my horror, I could clearly see human skin on some of the round chunks. I think so. We have to be close, Travis said, panning his light around and then stopping on a bloody streak on the ground, leading to the next room over. He began to make his way over, but I quickly stepped in, pointing the gun toward the rusted iron door. We all stepped through, but Ashley bolted ahead of us with a painful cry. She held to her body, the seemingly lifeless body of Travis. His skin was pockmarked with bloody red holes, the same as the animals in the pile we'd found the day prior. His head limply rolled to the side, and he made eye contact with me, his mouth moving, forming unspoken words. He's alive, I shouted, running over. We need to get him out of here, I said, grabbing him from Ashley. He let out a pained moan. Please, put me down, it hurts too much. We have to get you out of here, Travis. Whatever did this could be here any moment, I replied. I'm not making it out of here. I tried moving, and every time I shift, my innards start to fall out. I'm dead. Please don't say that, Travis. Ashley was pleading with him. I'm sorry, Ashley. I can't hang in there any longer. He looked at me, his pale gray moons glittering with wet tears. Please make the pain end. I know we've had our ups and downs, and I'm sorry about what happened with Ashley, but if you are my friend, I need this pain to end. I gazed into his cinereal saucers, his image blurry as my eyes welled with tears. I knew he was right, and I knew I had to do this one last mercy for him. I pressed the barrel to the back of his head and whispered in his ear, You will always be my closest friend. I'm sorry for everything. I saw a taut smile stretch across his sallow lips as my finger tightened around the trigger. There was a loud bang and Visper sprayed across the floor onto the far wall. My ears were ringing as I looked about in a daze. Ashley had run over and was now holding his actually lifeless body. She held him tight, as if she could close the distance between them even more. She was sobbing hysterically. Then I noticed Ancilius. He was frozen, looking into the room we had come from, saying something that I couldn't hear. Next slide. My eyes tracked where he was looking. There, standing in the doorway, was what looked to be a teenage girl. Her face was obscured by the shadows, and she was covered in grime. I looked back to Ancilius, and this time I could read his lips. I saw him mouth one word over and over. Raven. He slowly approached the girl, tears streaming from his eyes, and wrapped her in an embrace. The ringing noise was getting better, and over the high-pitched whine I could faintly hear Ashley. She was slowly rocking back and forth, but she had collected herself and seemed to have stopped crying. What did you say? I asked over the ringing. We have to get out of here. Ancilius found his sister, and for better or worse, we have found Travis. Whatever's down here was capable of killing a lot of things, including Travis, and I don't want to push our luck. We have to hold on to your body too. I can't do this again. I agree. We have to get Raven and Travis out of here, I said, while hoisting Travis up on my shoulder. I heard a wet gasp come from the entryway, and I looked over to see what it was. Ancilius had his back to me, but was slowly slumping to the ground. Like a curtain drawing up, revealing a stage, his body slowly revealed the most horrible sight conceivable by man. Next slide. And click.
Holy
It was
shit!
Ernie Keebler with black
Holy
holes where his
fuck.
eyes should be.
Oh,
Blood dripping
Oh,
from the
no.
cavernous eye holes, his clothes hung in tatters over his gaunt frame, the skin and hair of a girl laying around his feet. In his hands he held both of Icilius' lungs,
Oh
a
my
gaping
god.
wound vomiting blood from his open chest cavity. Ernie pulled out a cookie cutter and proceeded to cut out several chunks of flesh from the left lung. I watched this and realized in horror that this wasn't an ordinary baked goods factory. It must have been a Keebler factory.
Oh,
The
no.
workers expanding the factory must have cut down his home and driven mad. Ernie had begun his slaughter. The boxes earlier must have been the deranged attempts of this horrible creature to recreate his beloved sugary confections. Next slide.
I'm gonna vomit.
With a mix of anger and terror, I screamed and fired several shots into Ernie Keebler. Click. Click. Click.
Oh my
I'm gonna be
god.
killed.
Holy shit!
Flowers of blood bloomed from his torso as he was knocked to the ground. A whining, clicking shriek erupted from his mouth as he thrashed about. I grabbed Ashley and took off into the hallway, scrambling over refuse and slipping in bloody piles of mud. The shrieking getting quieter and quieter until it was a faint whisper. I suddenly heard a series of noises that made my blood run cold. Off in the distance, faintly but definitely there, I could hear multiple different screeches and clicks. Ernie was not the only one. Eventually I could see the stairwell, and like a repeat of the night before, Ashley and I ran with everything we had up the stairs. Somehow we made it to the main level without passing out from exhaustion, but we came to a screeching halt when we saw what was waiting for us. Standing at the main entrance was Ernie Keebler. I frantically looked around for escape, but every possible way out was blocked off. Next slide. By one of their
No,
iconic
no!
mascots,
Oh my god.
the lovably paunched Friar Tuck, the stylish young nephews of Ernie, Zoot, and JJ, the grandmotherly Ma Keebler in her iconic purple shirt, the mischievous young Elmer Keebler, the artistic Buckets, his paintbrush covered in blood, not fudge, Fast Eddie with his iconic red hair, Old Sam sporting his recognizable gray mustache, Barefaced Roger sporting his white gloves, elderly Doc in his tall hat and glasses, Zach, who's black, Flo the accountant who must have died when the tree cut down.
Zach, who's black?
It's Zach Black.
I do have to ask, did you know these names before doing this?
No, I didn't realize how many there fucking were.
Crying.
Jesus Christ.
Was Keebler Elves your prompt?
No, it was cookies. The bespectacled Leonardo. I didn't recognize the other ones, but they must have been Elwood, Professor, Edison, Larry, and Art.
I also like that this is in character, like he's recounting this.
But yeah, everybody knows the iconic Keebler elves. All were equally deformed and terrifying, but I couldn't fathom as to how Ernie Keebler survived his injuries. He took 4 or 5 direct shots to the chest, and he looked no worse for wear. Run! Ashley hissed, grabbing me and hauling me up the stairs. At the sight of our first movements, a chorus of shrieks rang out. The sound was deafening. My lungs were on fire as we continued our mad dash upwards. I could feel them closing in from behind us, but against all odds, we made it to the top. I slammed the heavy metal door shut behind us and jammed a rock into the bottom, acting as a crude doorstop. The night erupted with their enraged howls and the frantic banging against the door. I froze up and just stared at the door, praying it would hold. I could see the door bowing out and the door jamb pushing loose with every blow. I was only broken out of my trance by Ashley grabbing my hand. Go! She hissed at me, dragging me off into the tall grass. It took me a moment for my eyes to locate our destination in the dark. A corrugated steel maintenance shed on the roof of the factory. Next slide. We ducked inside and pulled the door shut behind us. I braced a broom against the door, preventing it from being opened. Inside, the walls were made up of rotted out particle board, but the frame and steel were still in good shape. We should try to wait them out. It's only a few hours until sunrise and we can make our escape, Ashley said to me, and barely audible over the sound of the banging. My protest was cut short as one loud bang indicated the door finally giving out. A hush fell over the rooftop like rain. Small footsteps, a scratch, rustling in the tall grass. None of it seen. For an eternity, we sat in silence, listening to them clamber about the rooftop, the sounds of them waxing and waning throughout the night. A set of footsteps got closer, and I waited for it to pass by, but it stopped. My breath caught in my throat, and I felt Ashley next to me violently shaking. I tried to place a steadying hand on her shoulder, but it was just trembling just as much. I heard the broom creak slightly as the creature pressed against the door, but it held firm. Another press, but the door stayed shut. I heard it back off slightly, and then it began to circle. My eyes traced its path around the shed several times, its footsteps joined by an audible sniffing. Suddenly, there was a thump on the roof, as it leaped straight up from the ground in a terrifying display of athleticism. There was a tapping noise on the roof. For what seemed like minutes, it systematically tapped the entirety of the roof. I can still hear it. Tick, 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 tick. And then a hollow talk. A brief pause. Next slide. Without warning, the roof exploded
Oh my
inward
God.
as iconic Elmer Keebler burst through the rotted spot in the roof. Blood flew through the air as he raked his terrible claws down the length of Ashley's back. In blind panic, I flung myself at him, my shoulder connecting soundly with his chest. He flew through the air, landing with a howl onto a gravel rake. Ashley and I tore out of the shed and into the moonlight, but she didn't make it more than a few steps when, flying through the air, Fast Eddie, armed with a rusted-out cookie cutter, tackled her to the ground. With lightning quickness, he hacked chunk after chunk out of her flesh. I turned in the direction of the car and ran blindly through the night. I somehow avoided the attention of the others as they began to swarm Ashley. Recalling the story Ancilius had told us earlier, I searched frantically for the fire escape ladder. On the side of the building, overlooking the tree stump, their former home, was a rusted but intact fire escape ladder. As I began my descent, I accidentally looked up. Every one of them was taking turns hacking away at her, but somehow, she was still alive. The vision that keeps me up at night, her staring at me in disbelief, mouthing pleas to help her. Thick sprays of blood replacing her words. I clambered down the fire escape as fast as I could, feeling the coarse metal on my hands. Without warning, I was in free fall. One of the rungs was rusted all the way through and it dumped me onto the ground. I hit the ground hard on my back and I felt all the air vacate my lungs. I could only lay on my back, gasping for air, my head spinning. I eventually managed to catch my breath and shake off my delirium. Staring at the roof high above me, I felt a fresh terror rise up within me. They had grown tired of Ashley. The Keebler icon stared down at me like a row of deformed minarets. I felt the cool grass beneath my skin as I rolled over onto all fours. In mindless terror, I began to scream and run as fast as I could towards my car. Adrenaline coursed through my veins. The only thing keeping me alive was the instinctual desire to flee. With every second I got closer to the car, and with every second I knew I was close to death as they closed in from behind. I knew more assuredly that I would feel the warm pain of a cookie cutter biting into my flesh. I grew more certain that I would not be able to escape the fate of my friends. I slammed into the car, and somehow I had made it. I flung open the door and shut it. I pressed the start button as they leapt onto the roof of the car. The sound of my engine roaring to life was drowned out by their roars in response. I felt the all-wheel drive of my Korean savior gripping the wet grass as all 290 horsepower carried me out of that hellhole. I barreled toward the tree line. The Keebler elves were either on my roof or in hot pursuit. The moment I hit the forest, it was as if I passed an invisible barrier. They all jumped off and stopped pursuing. Not taking any chances, I did not slow down. I sped through the forest, going faster than even that first night. Trees flew past me. I had a few close calls, but I could see the moonlight of the open field up ahead. I awoke to the earth moving and muffled voices. I awoke to the sounds of sirens. I awoke to the sound of frantic shouting. I awoke to the sound of a heart monitor. And then I awoke to silence. Next slide.
My Korean savior.
No, it's a Kia. It's a Korean car.
Yeah, I know.
My parents told me I ran head-on into a telephone pole, but I had to take their words for it.
Good callback.
All I know, thank you, as I spent the next several months regaining full motor function. While in the hospital, police questioned me about what I was doing out there, and I spared no minute details. I begged the police to go in there and recover my friends' bodies, but they didn't listen to what I'd said. They wrote it all off as the delirious hallucinations of someone suffering from CTE. I begged my parents to believe me, but they just exchanged nervous glances and told me to get some rest. I tried for years to convince anyone of this, but gave up. They say I hallucinated it, but I know the truth. I hope someone will believe me online, and if nothing else, I hope you at least heed this. There's a reason the adults in my town stay away from the baked goods factory, and you should too. Click.
Hell yeah. Ah!
I believe that is the end.
That is
That was
the
lovely, Brett.
Thank you, Brett. That was a masterpiece. It was perfectly. I was like I was actually there.
That was absolute.
You got that
cinema.
from
Yeah, I can feel.
cookies?
I can feel
What was
Ernie
your
keyboard
pronounce?
cutting
Was
in
it
my back.
Gun
It
or
was Cookie.
Kia?
It was Cookie.
Oh, Cookie. Okay.
Oh,
Great work, Brett.
you're.
How many words did that come out to?
I don't know. It's almost 24 pages.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit.
Holy shit.
Word count.
I don't even know what to say.
I
It
figured out what Brett did this
is
month.
9,444 words.
Holy moly!
Brother, you almost wrote 10,000 words for.
Brett, that's like twice
mean,
as many
based-
words as the research paper I'm getting my master's for.
I should get a master's for this.
I think you should.
I
agree.
did not. I did not expect Ernie Keeler to show up.
We weren't ready for it.
I want you to know that there were a lot of hints throughout.
There
A lot
were.
of the locations
were.
and
Mhm.
dates were hints
In
at it.
retrospect, there were a ton. Like the tree
Yeah,
stump was the
no,
big one,
seriously,
but there
the
were a
tree
lot.
stump was huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Keebler, if I'm not mistaken, actually started in I think Philadelphia.
It was Philadelphia. That is why he's in a town in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And it was founded in 1854, which is when the date of the attack started.
Oh.
Well done. Holy shit.
God.
Well played.
I will say there is a minor error, however.
Oh.
Oh.
There are no Myers in Pennsylvania.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
God
I
damn.
closed down.
Fuck. Are there really
That's
no
the
Myers
one
in
fiction
Pennsylvania?
in this
there are
piece.
no Myers.
Not
in
anymore.
Pennsylvania.
Not
Well,
anymore.
they all closed down because they moved their worms.
Exactly.
They moved their worm.
The worm
I'm
spree.
so sad. I was muted, but I was doing I forgot I was muted, and I was doing this whole bit about how Meyer has gone downhill because they don't sell worms anymore. And
The
then I
worms
realized
are
I
back.
didn't hear any of that.
I forgot
Alright.
we're doing the English Civil
Yeah,
War.
now we need to judge Tommy's English Civil War
Alright.
project.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Alright, Tommy.
Before we get into this, I need to know what class this was made for and what exactly the assignment was.
I don't remember, and I have no clue.
How old were you? Do you remember?
This is probably like freshman year of college, probably.
Freshman year. Okay. So probably an intro history class.
Yeah.
Alright, Tommy, you
Okay.
ready?
Mm-hmm.
Begin.
Well, is Crab gonna read this, or am I reading it?
No, you gotta read it. You gotta present it to
Okay.
Crab.
The English Civil War by me. Time out of the war. We start with law. After 11 years of tyranny, it was made illegal for the king to dissolve parliament. That was in 1640, 1642. That act. The long parliament passed this. Prevent war. Divided between parliament and king. Stuff like that. The first English Civil War. Country going against each other. Not so good stuff. Second English Civil War. The Scottish king invades England on behalf of King Charles I.
You're...
Further on the timeline, January 30th, King Charles I is executed by Rump Parliament. February 17th, King Charles II, his son, is proclaimed king. And then we get to the Third English Civil War. I don't know how they couldn't figure this shit out by this point. But Ireland falls to the parliamentarians. As to Scotland, Charles II is defeated by Cromwell in England. I don't want to read this.
Good old Dolly
You gotta
Cromwell.
present it to Tom. You gotta present it to Crab.
The reason for the split, fighting took place between the British Isles by the supporters of the monarchy, Charles I and his son, and opposed groups in each of Charles's kingdoms, including Parliamentarians and Covenanters in the Covenant in Scotland, and Confederates in Ireland. This war supposedly began in England when Charles I decided to create an army to deal with the problem in Ireland, even though the Parliament did not want him to do that.
That's
Charles first tried to tamper with Scottish land titles.
Also
He took it a step further than Thomas Wentworth by attempting in 1637 introduce a modified version of the English Book of Common Prayer. That created a bunch of riots in Scotland, creating a bigger divide between
that fucking tracks.
Charles I was fighting for power over the English government against Parliament. When his supporters, the Royalists, in quotes, who believed in the divine right for the monarch on his own, no help.
Your mic's cutting out a lot.
Good. The Parliament and its supporters were fighting for the rights of Parliament, all that good jazz, to overthrow the king and later his successor, his son. Yep, those are all the people noticed, as you can see, with information, if you want to read it, if you will.
Dolly Cromwell.
But do remember, I didn't have to read that slide.
Wait a second, go back a slide. Is that Thomas Wentworth, or is that good old Shakespeare?
I don't know. Gosh, freshman year, Tommy.
Have you seen them in the same place?
That's
Let's look.
That's not Shakespeare.
Looks a lot like him.
It does look like him, but it's not him.
Maybe it is.
He's
Maybe
got
Thomas
a-
Wentworth was Shakespeare. Yeah, it's Brett.
This guy has a much bigger forehead.
These are very important locations. Battle of Edge Hill on October 1642. The
Tommy
Battle
was.
of Marston Moor. Yep, July. Actually, I was in the July one. Battle of Marston Moor. July.
Where we dropping, boys?
1644. I don't know why I didn't do this in
Dropping on Edge Hill.
And the Battle of Naseby. Yep, strategies. Both sides would face each other. Infantry, musketeers, pickmen, plant guys. Were stationed at the center where the cavalry was. Each side would use similar tactics because they're the same fucking country. Another strategy involved the musketeers in the first line kneeling. Still same shit, same fucking country. During the early, thank you. Weapons, there was a mortar strike, the musket, good old cannon, the solid pike. Diseases, oof. It is estimated that, or disease, I don't know. 180,000 people died. Soldiers, sorry. 100,000 deaths were a result of disease in unsanitary conditions. Typical diseases resulting from poor camp conditions were dysentery, cholera, typhoid, my favorite, scarlet fever, and malaria.
Wait, is your favorite typhoid or is your favorite scarlet fever?
Scarlet fever.
I miss her too, bro.
I like her in Black Widow.
Yeah. Code of Chivalry. Very good video game. Just or unjust? It's a war against England.
You guys mic got muted. He just fucking...
Oh, I said it's a war against England. It's pretty just.
Alright. Grab final grade.
Yeah, overall, pretty damn solid, especially for an intro. I think in a higher level class, I might have the gripe that it feels like just kind of regurgitating information.
Yep.
There's really.
What is that if not a presentation?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in higher levels, you kind of expected to make a claim and kind of further that with evidence. But for an intro class, this is a solid presentation. I wish you got a little bit more into the politics of the era and how kind of some people thought that the Anglican Church didn't really go far enough in terms of reforming Catholicism. And so that's kind of where you get the origins of the Puritan movement and how a lot of them sided with Cromwell and the Roundheads.
Okay.
But overall, pretty damn good presentation. I'd give it an A.
You think he'll get his masters on this?
I don't think this is a master's presentation.
Thank God. I'm not getting a master's. Just not a crazy.
Could you imagine if someone is doing their master's project and they just walk up to the professor with a Google Slides with 11 slides on it?
Fucking wish.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
One of the pages just being important locations.
I gotta do
Already-
I gotta do a 6,000 word paper as a pitch for my masters. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Don't you fucking
mine's just-
start.
Well, mine's just coming down to 2 different 4,000 word papers. One's a research paper, and one's a historiography.
So I have to do the 6,000 word presentation, major project proposal. I have to do a research poster because that fucking makes sense. I have to do an annotated bibliography. Who left?
No, that,
Yeah, nothing is quite scarier than education, but there might be one thing that scares me a little bit more. Not
Oh,
donating to the
The
St.
St.
Baldrick's
Baldrick's
Foundation.
Foundation.
You're so right.
but it is we're reaching around 2 hours. So I think it would be fine to wrap it up though. Let me.
I concur.
They were all great in their own way.
They were all
I love them
beautiful. These were all great presentations. Even Tommy's.
Thank you.
What do you mean, even Tommy's?
No, I meant like the
It's
additional,
not
the
even.
bonus one,
Right,
the
Tommy?
bonus one, the English.
Yeah,
Civil
the
War.
secret slide.
It's like Tommy's was good.
His Creepypasta was great,
Yeah, it was great.
but he ain't winning a master. For
I
it.
think, Brett, you put us all to shame, if I'm being honest.
Technically, I got my prompt early, so I had extra days to do it.
I did mine 3 days ago because I kept forgetting to do it. Evan did his
I
today.
finished mine today.
I
I
mine
finished
last
it today. I
night.
started it before.
I finished the slideshow in like an hour.
Alright. On that note,
Well-
I might go rest a bit.
Before
Alright.
we
You go
end
relax.
the charity officially, the marathon is over. This would be the first charity I've actually managed to stream every single day for the charity.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I'm very happy with that. And I want to thank everyone who donated, everyone who took their time out of their day to come here and just be part of the streams, to donate, to just enjoy this marathon thing. We've been doing it for technically 5, but or specifically 4 years. In 2021 we started.
Hair's getting gray.
Yeah.
Really glad to be there for the
Oh,
first time.
fuck up.
First year was something real fucking crazy special though. That was just a whole bunch of new and crazy shit that happened. I don't remember if Smash Bros. Milkshake was the second one, but just the original Creepypasta readings, the original game show. There's some other live stuff too. Just a lot of neat stuff that we've done throughout the years with it. And I'm really happy that with the more focused, dedicated to the charity, we have managed to raise over 2,000 on this one. And it
That's
means,
incredible.
it means a lot. It means a whole lot. And I really do want to thank everyone here.
That's a month's salary. Whoa.
Just want to, real quick, because this would not have been at all possible alone. I could not have done this completely alone.
Yeah, you could have.
I could not. I would have been.
It would have been a lot more awkward, but
Playing
Yeah.
Among Us all by yourself. Yeah.
Hey. I would have been miserable without all of you there to help me and make this real. So I just want to go down the list here on the side. For even people not here, people here. What was that? Another donation? Was it Kitty? 630. Thank you for taking it off 1137.
Oh, now I have to put it back on.
No! Stop!
It's punishment for me.
I would kill you.
As
I know
punishment.
where you live.
I know where I live too.
Evan would have to donate over $100 to get it back to. Oh no, he wouldn't. Never mind.
Oh,
Never mind.
don't tempt me. I'll do it.
Tempt him. Get more money.
for the foundation.
Let me just go down the list real quick and just thank everyone. Evan and Call right now, thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I know you're working a lot, and you still, took the time to, make rumblers, to make the creepypasta, to be there for as many of them as you could. and
This
I
is like
appreciate it.
a great time. I love being here for these.
I love
I'm
having
kind of
you.
disappointed we didn't do the game show this year.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
It's a shame. Yeah, I'm just mainly bored with it. I need to change it. Daniel, thank you for the $10. Last donut.
Can I make
last
a
time I
game
bet.
show next year?
If you'd like to, I'm more than happy for that.
I'll be the jigsaw.
Tommy, he had to make a lot of sacrifices to be here. He missed a good couple of Yankees games and Rangers games to find
He's
a
a
way
hero.
here. And I appreciate it. I know he loves his sports, but like jokes aside, it's great to have him here. He's fucking funny dude. Love him. Mikos, bringing in the chaotic element as usual. Us doing just any sort of role play game at all, he will give that shit like he'll become a monster if he needs to. Along with the
Become.
jigsaw. And again, like I know he's busy too, so I appreciate any time he was able to spend here. Sness, I give you a lot of shit. I fuck with you a lot. You are extremely goofy, extremely talented, and I thank you for everything you put forward with not only this, but even with Saturnalis. That is technically part of the charity, so thank you for the art you did for me. Thank you for
was
being here,
my
and thank
pleasure.
you for being a silly little goober. Let's see.
Thank you for your kind words.
They may have been here for just one, but thank you, Ken, for being there and having easily the best house at the feng shui contest.
that bathroom.
It
That
was
bathroom.
a beautiful,
That
beautiful
was
home.
crazy.
Crab with the 25, thank you. You rocked, boss.
Absolutely.
Man. I appreciate it. Kitty, you were pretty much here for every single one, even the ones you said you wouldn't be there for. You found a way to be there for.
Gosh, I got bored. The ADHD comes in clutch sometimes.
I appreciate it because you gave every single one you were here for your A game every time you brought forth, and it
Pretty
means a
fun.
lot to me that you'd be here for all of them. 'Cause I think this is the. I don't know if did you do any of them with us last year? I think
No, I didn't.
I don't think so.
I didn't even. I don't think I even watched last year, which I'm ashamed to say.
That's fair though. Last year sucked.
Well,
no, it was. I like did not care last year. On like no joke. I was really not into it last year.
yeah.
I skipped like
it's been fun.
10
and,
days on that
I
one.
I'm looking forward to next year's.
As am I. Corey, they're not here right now. It was great. Speaking of, like, we'll get to it, but I'll get to it next. But Corey, if you see this, thank you very much for showing up. You're a funny ass dude for those group games we were playing. Your house was very auspicious. Your Dale and Dawson demeanor was professional always. It was like us talking to a real coworker, and I hope we get to play stuff after this too. You're real awesome. Crab, I'll start off by thank you for introducing me to so many new people and
Absolutely.
bringing them in. They were great. We meshed well. It was some real fun streams we got to do because of you. You are just
The Crab Crew should become a permanent fixture, I think. Like, we should invite them to the main server if we haven't already.
I plan to at the end of this. I just want to say, Crab, I love you. You always put your best foot forward on everything. You're always it's real great to be around. Generally, that's I'm trying to be a bit more specific with it, but like I think the most simple is you are just a really great person to be around, and I appreciate every time I get to be.
I'm just giving you the energy that you're giving me, man. Same to you.
Daniel, you showed up for. We unfortunately didn't get to have you a whole lot through it, but for every time we did have you, I appreciated your ability to be both the straight man and the chaos element for both sides of it. With your Korak, with just any game that we got to play together this year, you brought it with your. I don't even. It really. You're like Two-Face. You're like the Flipper.
Indeed.
Well,
Just like me in real life. But
Brett.
it's been great, all of you, and meeting you all.
Yeah, and I hope to get to know you better too as the years go on.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Until Owl. Brett, again, thank you. I know you are I keep mentioning it, but you are a pretty busy dude, and you got a lot. You got a lot going on in your life right now, and the fact you sat down and wrote a nearly 10,000 word.
Dissertation.
Luckily, I don't have a lot going on in my life right now.
You that just mean like you work you're a very regular worker. You got your fiance going.
Brett,
Like,
you're the busy guy, I know.
I'm pretty sure I was in a call once and you said you worked like a double job for fun. Like you just like doing it.
And
Bro,
work
locked
too much.
in.
I don't know if you're still
I work too much, but I'm glad I got to do this.
No, but I love you. You always bring like a great chaos element to everything that you put your magic touch to, and it's a shame we don't get to hear more from you throughout the year. But I'm happy we got you.
Honestly, half of it is I just have a really shitty computer and I can't play PC games.
I loved it regardless, and I miss you.
I'm glad. I miss you guys too.
Quinn, yes, I know they put out a lot of. They couldn't join us for anything this year, unfortunately, but they did spread the word quite a bit, to my understanding, and I believe they streamed as well under the St. Baldric title as well, and I appreciate the extra effort and help that they put forward. Snore, met you this year as well. Absolutely phenomenal. You fit in perfectly with the chaos that we put forward. I believe the first call we went in, we already were showing you stew reviews, and it was just a really, really funny time. It was just really funny. You're really, really great to hang out with, and I hope it, like I said with Corey and the same with all the new people, I'll eventually say I hope we get to see you after this as well. Vocab.
I love that like we didn't know him very well, but we still watched the really racist Batman movie together.
This Batman will make us brothers.
Yeah, we come to the call and watch like propaganda like until like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it was great. No, we were watching.
That's 4 in the morning for Snore, by the way. They're like Canadian Atlantic time.
Oh Jesus, really? I figured they were like East Coast too.
No, they're
fuck.
1 hour ahead of you guys.
Dedication. Vocab, I know you're in the audience right now. I know you're listening. Thank you. You know, it really is just the most random of fate. Yet again, Dong and Ropa bringing people together. It is the ultimate glue that holds the group together.
I think the name associated as well. It makes our bond so strong.
I think, yeah, it's a mutual hatred. No one in this group likes Danganronpa, so it helps. But I am so happy I got to meet you. I'm so happy you got to hang out with us, be in the group, watch Taffer with us, do all the funny stuff now in D&D together, especially for the roleplay games we've been doing, where like you just bring in the most stoic, psychotic character you can. It's similar to Mikos. Your ability to stick to the bit, your cynicism with stuff is hysterical, and I always love having you in the game. AJ, I don't know if you're listening right now, but like I don't think I had to go too deep into the personality on AJ. The just natural charisma and humor that comes out of that dude's mouth is it's gold.
Animal magnetism.
It's a crime we did not get to have him for more of Dale and Dawson or no, he was there at Lethal. A little bit at Lethal. But like
the poo-poo fumes rant is a highlight of my month.
He was there for Lethal. He was the one who warned me that shit was coming after me. And then
I'm sorry, it was doo-doo
fumes.
Such a character.
You're very stoic
Fuck
individual,
off, AJ. You are charismatic.
But thank you. No, like legit thank you for all the sessions that you were able to stop by for. I know, unfortunately, you were busy this month for a good bit of it, but again, I look forward to further Saturnalis sessions. Owl. I believe Owl is working on like a project right now, right? They're doing a. Is that right, Sinest? They're doing like some sort of like photo shoot thing.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's done. My legs hurt, but it's done.
So I mean, like if that doesn't, they are.
Oh wait, Owl wants to show it.
You on stream?
Stream?
Not on stream.
Okay, show it up.
I'll do it on stream, sure. Show
Just
it to
in
the world.
general.
We, out of everyone, we give Owl the biggest shit lovingly.
We do.
We
love Owl.
we relentlessly bully Owl every day.
It's supposed to be my job, but now I have to do the opposite.
Now it's competitive now. But
I know how.
not Owl.
Al.
You.
Oh wait. Yeah, I did. At least bully me to my face.
I was about to
No,
compliment you. Owl
We didn't
hates
say
compliments.
No, I know.
Owl.
So you're against shy people? now,
Owl
really?
hates praise.
I do actually. That's not even a lie.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
No.
Owl, you are an incredibly talented and wonderful individual to have in each of these streams. Like the insight that you bring to a lot of the stuff that we go over and watch and play, and just like is far beyond. Man, I always learn something
What?
new.
But I don't.
You do. No, you do. You legitimately do. You bring up a lot of stuff that I wouldn't usually think of regarding like topics and stuff we watch or play, and I find it fascinating. And I thank you for being you.
I'm just a quirky girl.
You're a corgi.
Well, we love you. You're
Or-
amazing.
She's gorgeous.
Phenomenal.
She's gorgeous. Well, thank you. Chuck, I know you're not here for a whole lot of the streams, but I know he watches. I love you,
I heard
Chucky.
that
Wait, was
found
Chuck here? Did I miss a
No.
Chuck?
You didn't. No, he didn't
No.
make it this year. He didn't make it this year. But
I've
hate
heard
that
bad
guy,
news,
so.
but he got into some trouble in Miami actually this year.
the
That's good.
Oh, shit.
trouble got into him. But I'll leave that
Oh,
for another day.
Oh.
Yo.
JT, we've been doing this for years now. Like you've been there since the first charity. That's like a lot of people, but this even goes beyond just the charity stuff. We have been streaming for years now, for like even longer than the charity, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, I think so. Probably. About like probably on par actually. So any like compliments, anything, it goes without saying that you are one of the most like talented entertainers I have had the pleasure of meeting, whether it be through D&D, whether it be through just our streams or just us shooting the shit and call. You bring in like, even with like you going through your own stuff, and you know, like even when you find yourself having a rough time, you still brought it in you to come out here and, you know, put your best foot forward, make a entertaining show, make a entertaining presentation, and you know, you didn't have to, and you still did it anyway. And you know, I, as a friend, I appreciate that. I'm so happy to have you as a friend.
Oh.
Who's a friend to
Cry.
HN, I know what the fuck you are. You're a piece
Oh my
of
God.
human garbage.
No.
You made chunky cheese.
You know, I knew somebody was gonna get the heel turn. I thought it was gonna be Owl. I wasn't.
HN, you bastard. No, HN, I love you. I think we didn't get you much. We got you for the Rumble, which is really honestly where you lurk. That is your home turf. The WWE. You are the psycho that buys every WWE game every year, and I think you need help, quite frankly. But it's
I
that
still hate you for Queso Noah Zorro or whatever it was.
much like the Suicide
That's
Squad,
still
you
vile.
are a WWE specialist. We need that energy in there. And I thank you for your contributions to. Actually, no, they did Jackbox with us, didn't they? Were they there for one of the
Yeah.
Jackboxes?
So yeah, there
I
was
think
some
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
HM was involved in.
Or stopping by with Jackbox, or stopping by with just the Rumble in general. Just putting that forward is I appreciate a lot. Q, met you this charity, absolutely wonderful. Same compliments as Scare and. Oh, sorry, that was dinner. Corey, it was wonderful to play with you all. Hope we can do it again. This has been. Let me just throw Mary in there as well, because instead of just individually, I just might as well just group them all up. Mary, Q, Corey, Snore. Wonderful playing with you all. You were all great and hilarious in everything that we got to play, and if there's one thing like I'm really, what's that?
I can't believe Mary is a ghost.
It's a shame Mary died this year. It's crazy.
Dead.
Mary was always dead.
But I do need to give some extra compliments to Mary though. She was very helpful behind the scenes of helping me like reorganize my OBS and making it actually like a functional thing. And
Yippee.
teaching me a bunch of stuff regarding audio ducking and these different audio sources and stuff, and just making stream better. That I'm gonna definitely take into account after the charity is over, when I can actually put more time to it. So thank you a lot specifically for that, Mary. But for the rest of you all, I'm so happy Crab got to introduce me to all of you, and hope we can do stuff throughout the year, like in a more casual sense, where I'm not in streamer mode.
Come play finals with us. It's great.
No, don't join them. There's
Do
too
not.
many already.
Lamau?
It is free though. Am I missing?
Become a
There we go.
YouTuber.
It costs your soul.
I was worried. And same. I believe it's the same the last one. I think I hit everyone with same. I just want to make sure. I hit them hard. Same.
Well,
I mean, the charity probably just wouldn't be happening at all if it weren't for you recommending and like telling us about the St. Baldrick's Foundation. I know it's something that means a lot to you personally, and I'm happy I get to take part in raising money for an organization that is as special to you, and it's become as special to me as well. You always do bring it with you're probably the, like, I don't know what's the best way to say it. Like, it's very similar with Daniel. Your dry humor, just like your way, like you have, I don't know, the way you deliver jokes is fucking phenomenal. You got like the perfect voice for fucking, like, just like regaling a tale or fucking telling us about shit. Like I like the amount of nights of just like 3 a.m. laughing our asses off about random shit we just talk about is, I love it to death, and I'm happy for any time we got to have you here on the charity as well. But I think that's everyone. I just wanted this year's.
Not quite, because like
What'd I miss?
it's sweet that you've mentioned all of us, but at the end of the day, you're the one who's put possibly the most into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're the one putting all of your time and your effort, and like,
Yay, Carlos.
we know that obviously you've been dealing with some stuff recently yourself, and it's been kind of painful for you at times to get stuff done, and like you've worked through that. You still fucking 31 days, dude. Like,
Yeah.
we've dipped in and out.
I say it
but
every
you've
year, and
been
I'll say
there
it again.
every time.
You're a psycho. Like this.
Yeah,
this
you
is
are. You're a
masochism in its
psychopath.
purest form.
Yeah, no, I knew from like the fucking moment, right? Like, even back when it was just you, me, and Sam played Back to the Future on the Xbox, like, this guy is wild. And no, 31 consecutive days of charity streaming is nuts. And
It is.
there's no one I'd rather do it with.
Yeah, you're the whole
Yeah,
head of
like
this whole thing.
you're a phenomenal guy, and like, it's. I mean, I personally, I love you, and I'm pretty sure that these guys also love you.
Yeah.
Do you even need to ask?
Here.
Well, I have sex with
Speak for
your
yourself.
husband, so
I
like.
really
Well,
With everyone's
Honestly, you are like one of the like greatest friends I've ever fucking made on this goddamn platform, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, like, for me personally, I mean, I literally would not be where I am today without you. So
Without Danganronpa.
with
Stop.
It's true.
I can't take credit for that. No, legitimately, the glue that holds us together is Danganronpa. I can't take credit for that. I cannot take that away from Kodaka.
The final
No,
shout-out has to go to
that's the
Monokuma.
glue that got us together. You're the glue that keeps us together.
Kodaka is
Danganronpa was
the
where it
savior.
started.
He made Danganronpa bad on purpose.
even though I said, like, I've said, like I said that to JT, you know, like what was it? Oh fuck, was it
Fuck.
last year? Like for our whole like end of an era
Oh,
thing,
yeah,
and like,
yeah.
but I, like honestly, the same goes for you too. You know, like even though like I don't know where I would be. I was like really like honest to God kind of lost with my like role playing shit. Everything was fumbling. I wanted to do D&D and it never worked out. Like this helped me so much. Like genuinely, like I was in such a art stump, like in general, writing and drawing, but like genuinely, like this all like this entire friend group like really revived my art and shit, and I've never felt better.
Aw.
I'm happy
And,
for
like,
that. Great group of people.
For me personally, when like you came into my life at a very perfect time, like someone who I consider to be like family to me completely cut me out, and I was in a really dark place, and then you were there and you introduced me to all these fucking idiots, introduced my gay husband.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Was that a year on the
No,
the
don't
gay
say whoa.
belief?
Don't say whoa.
He is hot.
How long did you think Evan was gay for? I forget. Was it a year?
Almost, pretty much almost up until we started dating.
Until you were
I think it
married.
was like,
And like,
Oh my god.
I'm still not entirely sure. But yeah, no, it was a
and
good
like
few
I
weeks
didn't even
before.
realize, because
We
like it was
have a
so
little
normal to me
bisexual
at that
streak.
point in my life for you to say that, like, because it was just a bit at that point, and like,
But I was not involved in the bit. I didn't know the bit.
It's not a bit
yeah,
anymore. Y'all actually
I forgot that other people weren't in on the bit sometimes, so I like wouldn't clarify.
I think Kitty not being in on the bit has made her the single funniest part of the entire bit.
absolutely.
For like a year.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm okay being part of the bit.
I don't think Kitty would have ever imagined marrying a gay man in a Danganronpa server.
No, with my track
It's
record, I
crazy.
totally could have.
Do you think love can bloom on the battlefield?
We're not so
Apparently,
different, you and I.
But like all jokes aside, like as we've mentioned before, none of this would be possible without you. You're the one who arranges it all every year. You're the one who's like, let's start at this time. You organize everything. Like half of the people in the server I wouldn't know. Just hanging out. I was saying to Evan literally this time last year, I'd like to get to know everyone a bit better, and I'd like to think the past month I have.
It's a great excuse to get to know everyone against your will.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely against your will. So it's while
Bonds
it's
of brotherhood
nice
are forged in fire.
well, it's nice you thanking us. We're really the ones who should be thanking you,
Absolutely.
honestly, for doing it. So,
I
thanks,
just-
nerd.
I appreciate it. I just want to make sure, just because I don't know, this year I found myself being, I don't know, a bit more like just anal about the way I ran it, and I worry, like, just I got stressed sometimes, and sometimes I want to make sure you know how much I like appreciated the effort you guys all put in this year.
Yeah.
And took time out of your day to do. Even if some stuff didn't work out in the end, I like literally every minute I am extremely appreciative for.
And we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Next year,
Yeah.
let's do it from a content house.
Fart ass.
31 days in a fucking like rented. It's like fish tank. It's like a.
Oh my god, yes.
It's like Big
I
Brother.
don't think we have the resources for that. As our account, I
Shut up, account.
Maybe
the
if we
creative
tap
people
into
are
the charity fund.
That's right. I did get a bit of a windfall recently.
No,
Oh,
way.
no.
I've come into about $2,000 out of nowhere, seemingly.
So wild.
You guys won't believe this. I got
My
free
own
money
birthday
this year.
yesterday.
Free money.
my God.
It's not taxable either.
I just want to thank you all for
Charitable
being so dumb.
Oh my goodness.
No
In
problem.
the final
I'm
hours
good
of
at
the
this.
charity, we realized the true meaning of embezzlement.
Yeah, that was the mystery. That was the mystery word of the day. that was my final creepypasta. The theme was embezzlement.
Oh my
I
god.
stole.
Pasta of all embezzlements.
Playing the long
Yeah.
Oh my
game.
god.
Creepypasta that lasted 31 days.
But like another reason I bring it up is because for next year, I'm not sure what I'm gonna be doing. Mainly because I've been, like I mentioned before, I've been doing this for like 4 years, and I found myself falling into very similar routine with it. And I've already expressed with the game show when it didn't happen. It's just I'm growing a bit bored, and I feel it's becoming more of like a chore than doing it. So like I don't want the charity to become that. So I think
fair.
for next year, the charity might change shape.
Sure.
I want to still do it.
feel
That was
like-
possibly the fucking most ominous thing you've said all fucking
No, no, no,
month.
no, no. Let him
No,
go.
It's gonna
this is the most
change
normal
shape.
thing Carlos has ever said.
And
No,
you might be
because this is
afraid at
Carlos.
first, but you'll come to love the new shape. You will.
You'll come to
I-
understand what I turn it into.
Whoa.
Yeah. No,
I'm
See, I'm
not
excited.
coming
Every
to
time-
America next year.
no see,
I'm scared.
I've learned in the time I know Carlos, anytime he says something ominous like that, it's usually super fun and exciting for me, so
You have to embrace it.
I'm down.
I've
The Claudia
seen-
Mistakes 31-day camping trip.
With Wings of Redemption.
It's really
Only
strange.
eat what you
they're,
catch.
You have 31 days to break out of my jigsaw traps.
I would do
They're
that.
introducing,
Oh.
they're introducing a new Dead by Daylight killer along with our 31-day stream in the woods.
Because I want to get back into doing. I want to come up with ideas more. I want to do different things, and also just like we're getting older, it's harder to like say, "Hey, make a creepypasta by the end of the month." Hey, do X by the end of the month. Because a lot of people who said they would, like they came to me and said, "I'm sorry, I won't be able to do it," which I understand completely. It's a big ask for especially we're busy people, and
Yeah.
it is a little bit sad to see. We're growing up. We're gonna with less time to do this sort of stuff, but like I want to at least make something that I can with my hands make more accessible to everyone. Just make more events that are unique instead of just playing a game or just doing X or Y. I want to make more like 'cause the first like the Smash Bros milkshake is fucking a banger stream. That's a
You really would.
that was
Don't do that
cursed.
again.
I
For your
might.
own sake.
Yeah,
You really would not.
The dad PowerPoints are like
As your doctor.
the dad PowerPoints are iconic.
As your
Like
friend.
those that have the
Yes.
benefit of changing all the time, so they're really
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
True.
But I want to get like when Quinn taught me how to cast a spell of good fortune at the end of the last year's 2022 charity. It was really fun. I really enjoyed like learning how to actually cast a spell.
Okay.
Yeah, I made like a life
Should
jar.
that be like the new genre of events? We like everybody has one day where they they indoctrinate you in an aspect of their life.
That would
like
be
everybody
funny.
has a hobby that they
Oh.
get you into.
I like that'd
Oh
be
yeah,
fun.
Carlos, we're gonna be making you,
Oh,
getting you to make
no.
games next year.
Yeah.
All right,
No.
Carlos.
Carlos, I've already figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you to play 40k with me.
Oh no, never mind.
Oh,
It's
no.
canceled.
That'd be awesome.
It's the tabletop. It's okay. It's the tabletop.
There's
I'm
just
gonna
like a live Carlos reaction cam, like when you like for every like book you pull out, it just like
No.
No, I'm not gonna
Bobby.
teach you the lore. We're just gonna play the actual game because
Wow.
nobody was gonna play it with
there's
me.
gonna be a 24-hour stream where I go to like the Warhammer, like the biggest Warhammer lore channel. I open 50 tabs of like different, and I just sit there and just absorb it all.
No.
We
50
take the
tabs
money
at
from
the
the
same
charity,
time.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like it's all playing at once. It's going into the fucking Horus Heresy. It's going into the Tyranid biology. It's like it's everything.
I hope you're ready
I
to build
love
a Minecraft
that-
boat, boy.
Yeah, if I can,
I
that'd
love
be
that
good.
he said like, "We'll all have a stream with Carlos where we do something that we like." And JT heard, "I have someone to play Warhammer with."
Uh,
Real though.
And crap, I forgot to. This is very fucking stupid of me. I forgot to fucking compliment your Minecraft fucking proficiency. Your adventure maps are
Oh,
great.
thank
I
you.
love your adventure maps. They're like
Yeah.
I look
I'm
forward
so
to them
glad I get to
immensely.
play him now.
Yes.
I like the
I will say, Carlos,
love the effort.
you are
I'm
going to have to
wanting to
play
go-
Splatoon with me next year. Though.
I'm wanting to
Fuck
go
no.
ambitious next year.
Wait.
So
Oh god.
You know how annoying that'd be to set up, SNES?
It'd be really funny.
I need to get like a capture card.
It'd be really funny.
That capture card was used to record Raincoat. I burned it.
It'd be really
Holy shit.
Carlos, no.
I lost my train of thought, but like I want to do like. There used to be a point where I was just coming up with ideas constantly, and I want to kind of get back into doing that. Like for like, I didn't end up like maybe I should actually just make the Penrose staircase. Like I should actually just do that. Like stop being a bit.
you could have a chat with Charity Ideas where we can like suggest things potentially.
Yeah, a lot of it does
Maybe
come
try
to me
get
just
shitpost thing down.
learning how to be a better streamer as well with that stuff. Is setting up stuff to
That's
look
fair.
nicer.
Next year, final day, we should like actually find an abandoned place and do actual ghost hunting.
That'd be fun. That'd be
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
It'll be so fun.
But
I
have the
would fly
qualifications
over.
No.
necessary.
because
I'd
like
drive out there.
me and Tommy are really the only ones
Nikos
that
is
live
close.
close to Carlos. So yeah,
Nick,
he's
I
like an
would
hour
fly
away.
over. Fuck you. I'm flying
Oh
over
my
for Carlos
God.
on that one.
Well,
Yeah, I might
I
actually
don't
have to
wanna
make a
do
pilgrimage
that.
next year.
You don't need to do it.
I don't. But like, I'm gonna look like a bitch if my wife flies over to.
You will,
I
but
don't
like
show
you will,
up.
but you don't need to
Flying
do
over
it.
for you. I'm flying over for your boyfriend. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh shit!
I established a New
I'll
Jersey
pick up
commune
crab.
next year.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We don't have any good like abandoned places nearby though. We'd have to really look. But
Next
I
I'm
know
gonna go fight the
where I
Jersey
live.
Devil.
Carlos established the New Jersey commune.
But like I used to be super into like okay, so last year I didn't end up doing the game show. One, because I just didn't have any ideas for it, same as this year, to be honest. I've kind of like really burnt that candle down to its to the end. But I told some people this. I don't know how many people were in call, but in 2023 I had an idea. I contacted CC. And the bit was gonna be because I was sick before the charity, and I got the idea because I was feeling better. I'm like, what if I just pretend I'm still sick, and I'm gonna ask JT to host the game show. And what she wouldn't know is that I would be swapping places with her girlfriend Cece, like in chat, and she has like an iconically like bad mic, so me being muted wouldn't be like a question, like it wouldn't be a question. So me,
That's so
CC
funny.
even like recorded lines for me to put on a soundboard just in case I needed to say something, and I had like a CC soundboard ready to speak.
Why didn't we do that?
And the final question of the game show was just gonna be like it would be a video of me sitting in my room. It would just be like, who am I? And it's be like, this entire game show, I've been here.
That's
Holy shit.
psychopath. I love it.
And, like it was fucking.
Jigsaw ass fucking ending.
And then at the end, like if JT got it wrong, it's like, what's wrong, JT? Don't recognize your own girlfriend. Dun, 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 dun.
But like, I hate that you just said that you had no good ideas, and you came out with this.
Well, no, because along with that's a good idea, but I also need like actual topics for the game show to actually go through. Like, I had a funny gimmick for the end of the game show. I just didn't have any good game show topics that I haven't already covered.
Why did you tell us that? You blew your idea.
Evan, let's face
I
it.
guess we
we'll
didn't
have
want
forgotten
to.
how to do
What you should be asking is, who am I right now?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit.
You're my wife.
I have a
Wait,
confession
what?
to
You're my
make.
cookie.
Well, his other
It's
wife.
me.
His other wife.
Well,
I'm Gregnet.
Who do you think gave you the liver?
But yeah, with this being sort of the wrap up point here, again, just thank everyone for being here, for helping me out, and for just being a great group of relatively normal people.
Well, that's a
Don't
fucking
lie.
lie.
Well, yeah, but you could also, but like
Well,
people
he
could
said
be
relatively.
people could be weird, and they could also be an asshole. So I'm just happy none of us are assholes.
okay.
Real.
I
Yeah.
was an asshole.
No.
I need to try harder then.
We'll be seeing
I'm
it
a
later,
monster
though.
heel.
Next year on the charity, Daniel will be showing his asshole.
Ooh.
No.
For you.
Jesus.
If that isn't worth a donation, I don't know what is.
Go to the St. Baldrick's Foundation. For prostate cancer awareness, we will be showing Daniel's asshole live on stream.
Christ.
We will be performing a prostate exam live.
Unlicensed.
I joke about that, but fucking Impractical Jokers did just actually do that. So, like, why can't we?
That goes against Twitch's terms of service.
They've
Bad
had
appeal, I
worse.
saw it on TV.
They've had worse.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, I think, probably for the rest of the week, I'll be taking off, until D&D.
Reasonable.
For Saturn Alice
Completely
specifically.
fair.
Or season 2 of the
Every day
two
as long
shots.
as you keep
Very
going.
reasonable.
But probably next week I'll be back. Me and Evan, I'll be playing more Disco Elysium. It's been a month without that. I've obviously been getting the shakes. I really want to play it.
I
And
haven't
then
been playing it either.
Evan,
Don't forget, Carlos, the looming horror of Amplitude still yet to finish.
we're not finishing Amplitude.
That's saying that.
Amplitude, like, listen, Frequency could be kind of funny because it was short. Amplitude's taking too long. It's
That's entirely fair.
it's pissing me off. That party scene was a mess. But and then Evan and I will be returning to the murders along the Yangtze River. That one I'm very good. We unfortunately hit a cutoff point right before we went into the final confrontation of a case. So that's just been kind of sitting on my mind for 4 weeks now.
All I remember is like gay men in an ironworks doing opium.
That was the most buzzword thing you could say about that game. Like gay men, ironwork, opium.
Mental.
I mean, that's what do you remember about that case?
I mean,
'Cause that's what I remember.
I agree. They're called buzzwords for a reason. But thank you again. Thank you all for watching. We will see you when we see you next as the charity. We will see you next year.
Are we throwing it over to anyone?
That's a good point. Is there anyone live?
I can suggest someone.
Who do you
Rob
suggest?
Switch.
Rob
Playing
Switch?
Jackbox.
We ought to dream.
We could throw it over to little known streamer Dream.
I do like helping out little streamers like that. Yeah.
Oh, we can throw it to Quality Mistakes. I heard it's great.
Yeah. Let me look up charity real quick. Let me see if anyone's doing a charity thing specifically. Yeah, sure. We'll throw it over to Mary Mello actually they're doing a charity stream.
Farewell, guys and ghouls. Ooh.
Guys and ghouls.
It's not
They're
sticking.
raising money for Extra Life. Crap. I'll say just for you. Thank you, all my guys and ghouls, for showing up for the charity.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, I'll throw you over to Mary Mello. They have a nice, really cute moth VTuber thing going on there. Go show them some love. Maybe throw them their own charity money. If you have the I keep hitting my mic. If you have the means. Any final words anyone wants to give?
I got one.
Yeah. Long live Bomba Del Car. Bomba Del Car.
I was just gonna say we need to get Carlos's own VTuber icon.
Soon.
Oh, captain, my captain.
We should make
Can you
Carlos a
please?
YouTuber model of himself.
It's like uncannily like me. Like it's
Yeah.
like my eyes are a little bit too. It's like how isn't this what you wanted? Like when they show like the anime girl in the real world.
Yeah. Just like that would be amazing.
Listen, the youngest sibling's learning how to make them.
I mean,
She's gonna need
Wow.
gonna need a test subject.
well, fucking hell of a
Apparently-
test subject. Giant tentacles coming from my mouth.
Too.
And 3 eyes. That's a fucking throwing them in
It's
a
very
volcano.
lucrative. Apparently, there's a lot of money
Yeah,
in it.
apparently
So I heard.
Yeah, I was talking to
Uh,
Mary about it. It goes
a
expensive.
decent one can go for like £30,000, which is
Oh my
It's a lot of
God.
it's a lot of shit.
it's a lot.
How much
of
is
money.
that?
That's for like a
It's 2
decent
goober
VTuber
dollars.
model.
I need it in real money.
Well,
More billion.
it's
So,
about
that would be about
40,000?
40,000.
2 Bajukian
Yeah.
silvers.
A little less, I think. than
$40,000 for a.
VTuber model. Yeah.
I thought you were
What?
talking about PNG model. I didn't
No.
realize you were talking about like.
Oh, and it sent people over.
yeah.
Wait, we're gone.
I had a heart attack. Bye bye.
It sent it.
That's crazy.